Happy Saturday night. Welcome back to another special edition Saturday night, late night show with Mr.BetonYou. So time check. We are, 11 p.m. on the East Coast. We are 10 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Western Time. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Mother's Day first off. We got Mother's Day coming up in just a few hours here, all day tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Thumbs up for you guys. And tonight, I don't know what direction this show is going to go yet. I haven't really decided because I feel the same, but I feel a little bit different now than I did when I actually decided to do this and talk about these topics. So the live stream link will be open very soon. Okay. And I do want to hear other people's perspective on these topics. And if you have a different topic, gig related or not, you can bring that to the show. Now, for the 83 that are watching right now, what we're talking about is these particular topics. I'm going to put them up on the screen. But if you don't want to have one of these topics and you choose to come on for your 5 to 10 minute slot, you could have another topic and you can ask me how I feel about that topic. You can tell me how you feel about that topic, and we can talk about it. But let me show you these here. These are the topics I've got. Some of them we've talked about them already. New people come to this channel all the time. New information comes out. So I like to talk about things that are current. And these are what most dashers are talking about. Most creators are talking about right now. Okay. So DoorDash is not dead. That's the first topic. Migrants are not the issue. That's the second topic. Platinum dashers make more money than cherry pickers in 2024. If you're in a market with a tier zone, tier program, platinum dashers make more money than cherry pickers on DoorDash. Somebody debate me on that. And the last one is video I did yesterday. You are not an independent contractor. DoorDash is not dead. Migrants are not the issue. Platinum dashers make more money than cherry pickers in 2024. And you are not an independent contractor. I believe those four things. So it's up to you to come on the show and tell me why I'm wrong. Also, if you have something else you have in your mind, we can talk about that as well. These are the hot topics right now in the gig economy, at least, okay? These are what people are talking about, creators are talking about. So hit that thumbs up. We'll get the show started soon. I'm going to get some shout outs in just one moment. Let me check on that real quick. Okay, I think we're good there. Let's see who we got in the chat. Let's take a look. All right. Survive and Thrive, Joy Rider, Hector Hustles, what's up? Austin, Raise on Scrabble, always a pleasure to see you. Kevin, appreciate you for being a moderator. You got that blue wrench. Bilal, always a pleasure. Kathy, how are you? Hey, Pedro, migrants are an issue. Kathy was on the show 2 months ago or so. Get Gal, I see Lynn, Austin. Those are the topics that I have that I'm willing to come and talk with you guys about. If you have something different, gig related or something else, something you want to get off your chest, something that's going on in your marketplace, something that's going on in the world, tonight's the show for you. I'm armed, ready, have a little bit of energy, have my special drink. I'm ready to go. Big Bells, how you doing? Karina, Napa, what up? Chuck, how you doing? Eric, Pitstar, always a pleasure. All right, if you can't make money with DoorDash, you are a clown. Well, there's a lot of clowns out here, though, I think. That's the problem. A lot of people, are struggling with DoorDash for various reasons, right? It's not just one or two. It could be others, right? So that's what we have on the show topics tonight. Gigal says free Palestine. Gigal, you can come over if you want to defend that. And everybody is welcome tonight's show. I like the specialty. Migrants are the problem and bots too, says Eduardo. Okay, I love it. What's up, brother? I sent you a message months ago and never heard back. Paul, maybe got lost. Sorry to hear that. All right, Big Carl, what's up, bro? Appreciate you being a channel member. Appreciate you here. What up? So that's what we have going on tonight. I wanna say something before. Saturday isn't usual, right? The last Saturday we went live was a couple of weeks ago. We had a lot of people on. It was great. We had a great conversation. We had all different kinds of points on here and stuff like that. Joshua Life, how you doing, brother? April, how you doing? But I saw a couple things today that made me It may be what's the appropriate word? I saw some stuff today that made me it's a lot of words flying in my brain. I just don't know which one I want to use because they might have been appropriate at that time when I was watching, but maybe they're not as appropriate now because I've think about things. But disgusted is an appropriate word. I saw some things that disgusted me today for some people. It just made me realize the state of the world that we're in, the state of the gig economy, the state of the content creation we're making, the state of opinion, the state of nosiness, the state of absolute just privilege, the state of assumptions. I mean, all these words, and it just made me like, wow. I was just like shocked how people act out here, man. So once again, these are the topics. If you have your own, that's okay. When I open a Streamyard link up, we're going one person at a time, and then until we organically maybe things shift. 5 to 10 minutes per person. I really want to stick to that. Your voice can be heard on one of these topics. So all I'm asking from the panelists that decide to come up, and I would love new people to come up. Everybody's welcome on this channel. Okay. What I would love is pick one of the topics. I'm going to put them up again. If you don't like those, that's fine. If you have another one, that's okay. And we talk about that topic. I'm going to give you guys a few. If you got something else, that's okay. You can come on and say, well, Pedro, I got this instead. Can we talk about this for 5 or 10? And then the floor is yours. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So once again, DoorDash is not dead. I picked topics that all of the content creators are talking about, including myself, right? And there's a wider range of opinions on that based on marketplace and various other things. DoorDash is not dead. So these topics are how I feel. This is me saying to you, DoorDash is not dead. Let's talk. You can talk about that if you want. Migrants are not the issue. Platinum dashers make more money than cherry pickers in 2024. And you are not an independent contractor. Those are the topics that I have on my mind. Everything that you see on the screen is how I feel. Those are my words. Those aren't questions. There's no question marks behind any of those statements. Those are my stances right now. If you have something different besides these 4, you are free to come up on the panel with that information, with that opinion. All right, before I pin the link, Big Carl, Sim, Gig Wars, what up? How you guys doing? Tyrone, what's up? Glenda, Eric, Cray. Appreciate you. How are you, Cray? I think you're at work, right? Appreciate you for popping in. Thanks for being a channel member very, very much, Cray. Austin Rides, Paul, Tom, Cassandra. I'm just trying to say hi to some of you guys that are here on the Saturday night. Crystal, Austin, Glenda, Eduardo. If you're watching and you want to chat, all you got to do is sub to the channel. The live chat here is a good place with a lot of great people, and we have a good time. All right, dash across America. All right, good gal, John. All right, okay. Let me go ahead and put the info. Where's my phone? There it is. Let me go ahead and pin this for you guys real quick, okay? And tonight is all about you guys. I want to do less talking unless it gets fiery, and then but I want to hear from your perspective on the topics at hand. Let me get rid of this banner because I don't know who's gonna. Or if you have something different that's affecting your marketplace, please feel free to talk about that. Tell me what your stance is, what you think going on. Ask me. You can ask me my opinion on it, and I'll give you my honest opinion. And we can have one-on-one. It's 5 to 10 minutes. 10 minutes is going to be if the conversation needs that. Maybe you only need 5. Totally up to you. Okay. Let me go ahead and put this in for you guys. And happy Saturday. Happy pre-mom. Listen, what time is it? On the East Coast, it's almost Mother's Day. So shout out to you. Shout out to the moms out there. Shout out to my mom. Taking her out to lunch tomorrow. My mom likes burgers. She wants to go get a burger. I said, I know a spot. She's never been there. A little lunch for her tomorrow. Burger spot. I got away cheap this year. She could have picked Red Lobster or something, but and we would have went if she wanted it. But this burger joint's actually pretty good. So it's really good. Okay. Let me go ahead and get in here and pin this for you guys. All right, let me get in here. And if you're just popping in, ask in the chat what we're talking about, because I already went over it a couple of times. All right. No. Hold up. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the moms. We are nothing without our mothers. Let me tell you this right now. We are nothing without our moms. Okay. If you got a great mom, it makes a big difference, man. All right, so let's see. Concord Grill. You know what? I don't know if I've been to. I mean, I know where Concord Grill's at. I might have been there one time. Carl, I can't even remember, man. Let me try. It's always okay. Place pin. All right, there you go. Okay, it's pinned for you guys up at the top. Top message. I see Justin, GigB Toes. Okay, you guys are bumping in. All right, all right. Okay. I'll go over the topics one more time just for the audience, because we know people pop in and out of these lives. I want to be very clear on what the show is tonight. All right. Let's go here. And once again, if you have something that is not one of the 4 topics I have, that's okay as well. This show is for you guys, the viewers. So if you have something you want to get off your chest, you want to ask me a question, you have an opinion about something that's happening, whatever it is, you can pick that. But we're sticking to 1. So when you come on, I'm going to ask you what topic you got. And if it's out of the 4, that's okay. But so it's either my 4 or you got something and we talk about that particular thing. Hope that makes sense. All right, get back in here. Tyrone, what up, Tyler? I see Tyler in here. Twisted Monkey. Robert, my mom passed away 2000. Robert, sorry about that. I appreciate you sharing that with us, though. So tomorrow might be a different kind of day for you, but I feel you, man. Thank you for sharing that very personal thing with us. I know that's not easy for some. Okay. All right. Let's get in the show. Let's see, who do we have waiting? We have some of the usual suspects. I see Justin, GigB. I see Lynn. I see Kevin. I see AMC. I mean, these are like the original OGs of the panels, I think. Paul, appreciate the $4.99, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Hold on one second. Let me get down here. And appreciate that very much. Once again, I want to go over what we got for the few people that have probably walked up in here. This is the topics, or if you have something. DoorDash is not dead. Migrants are not the issue. Platinum Dashers make more than cherry pickers in 2024. And you are not an independent contractor. Those are my words on the screen. That's how I feel. If you want to talk about one of those, we can talk about one of those. If you have something different, we can talk about that as well. Let me go ahead and bring up, I didn't believe Justin was first. So Justin, we're going to go 5-10 minutes and make sure he's ready. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, Justin. Sounds good. Let's add him to the stage. Justin, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great, Pedro. Thanks for having me on. I actually think most of your topics are the same topic. With the exception of the migrants one. I actually agree with you, the migrants ain't the issue, but I think everything else is pretty much the same topic.
So give me one. Give me your stance on that. Give me your explanation for that. They're pretty much...
So one, like real quick, running them down, DoorDash ain't dead. I think it's hurt. I think it's hurting, but it's going to come back. Just like when Top Dasher was the first thing, everyone thought it was dead. You had to be Top Dasher or you couldn't work. Guess what? We found out how to cherry pick. We found out how to make it work. Mm-hmm. Everybody found a way to make it work for them. We're going to find a way to make it work for us again. And that's one of the reasons I like your channel is, unlike Nugs, TJ, anybody else in the space, you're the one keeping everything positive. Like, hey, let's go. We'll find a way. Now, I disagree with you. The Platinum Dashers are making more money in 2024. I think your wording is a little catchy there because they might make more money, but they're not profiting more money. At the end of the day.
Let's talk about that. Let me put that up. Let's talk about that. So talk about you making more versus profits. And obviously we know what the difference is, but how do you look at that?
So I've been self-employed for a long time. DoorDash ain't nothing new to me. I'm going to share my screen with something for you here. I actually have this in my car ready to go. I'm on the road. Like I said, we're in our 5th state so far on our road trip, but if you can see that.
Okay, yeah. Want me to pull it up?
Pull that up. I'll show you. I'll show you what I got. I keep track of everything.
Yep.
Every dime I make, every month, every day, what I drive, how many hours door to door, what my active time is, what I spend on gas, how many orders I do, what app I do them at, and I've been keeping track of this for years. Now, this is just 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I've been part-time. I don't really do this full-time. This is my full-time thing, but it's not full-time hours because I cherry pick my hours too, because that's very important.
Sure.
But what I do notice is the drop in my gross hourly and net hourly from the first quarter of the year
Yep,
to
I
the
see it.
implementation of Dasher rewards.
Looks like almost a $5 difference.
Yep. And that's with an 84% acceptance rate.
Mm.
I got it up to 100. It's down to 84 after a couple of days of that going back to cherry picking. But if I do go back into today, today I just rode Uber Eats for 5.5 hours. I didn't touch DoorDash today. I made $153 in 5 hours. I cherry picked the hell out of it. My acceptance rate for the day was 4%.
On Uber Eats, though.
Uber Eats. And now I just published a video on my channel about your main point, though. You're not an independent contractor with DoorDash. You are with Uber Eats. That's the big difference between the two platforms.
Right.
I think you are with Uber Eats and you are not with DoorDash. And that is why people are going to profit less with DoorDash if they are not a Platinum Dasher, because DoorDash is rewarding their employees.
So let me ask you a question. If DoorDash is rewarding their employees, which you're talking Platinum status, right?
Yep.
Because they're working more. You got to get so many deliveries in a month. You can't unassign as much. Your AR's got to be higher. If those employees are still making good profits, is that an issue?
For them, it may not be. Now, for me, I'm looking at it, whereas last month in April, I was making $25 an hour door to door as my gross. My net was $23.29. I only spent $285 on gas and drove 1,500 miles the entire month to make $3,300. This month, as a Platinum Rewards Dasher, I've already driven over 1,000. I've already spent over 200 on gas, and I've made less than a third of what I made at this point last month.
So let me ask you why. So because it came to your marketplace, you felt the need to try it. So for what reason? For the Dash Now? Actually, what's the reason?
Believe it or not, this was whether or not it came to my marketplace, I was embarking on the mission to go from 0 to 100, 0 to hero kind of thing. We did that video. Took me 7 days, accepting every order for 7 days to go from a acceptance rate of 14 to 100. And that was because I was leaving on this road trip. I was leaving from Manchester, New Hampshire, hit Portland, Maine, Boston, Mass. We're going down to Providence, Rhode Island tomorrow, then Hartford, Connecticut, try and hit 48 states in 48 weeks. And that I figured I would not be able to do without Dash Now.
I understand. Got it.
I figured I would not be able to schedule in advance enough because DoorDash only lets you see so far ahead geographically. That while I'm in New England, that's fine. But the moment I need to cross a state like Colorado, I'm not going to be able to see far enough ahead on the map to schedule far enough in advance. So I would need Dash Now. So that's why I figured I was going to give this a shot and see where I'm going. But here I am 4 states in, when I'm somebody who values my profitability as a business owner, and I also run a wedding photography business and a political consulting on the side. I've always valued profit over income because you have to think in terms of net, not in terms of gross. Oh
no, hold on. Sorry, Justin. I tried to get your come back up for a second. I tried to get your one screen off and it kicked you off. So audience, sorry about that. Justin's not done yet. He's got a few minutes. Justin, come on back if you can hear me. Hold up. I see a few more people waiting, but that was my fault. I don't know why I did that. Okay, Justin's back. Here we go. All right, sorry about that, man.
I don't know why I did that. So I was saying I'm reevaluating my schedule. I'm reevaluating how I'm doing things and finding other ways to prioritize making some of this gig income on the road instead of relying on DoorDash. And realizing that I'm going to have to pitch to a lot of earn by time to make it worth doing, just to be able to keep that Dash Now status while I'm on the road. And who knows, in 6 months I might be changing the name of my channel from Dash Across America to Uber Across America.
Well, at the end of the day, obviously we have to go where the money is, right? So if Uber's not gonna play the games with you, if you feel like there's more of a benefit to give them more of your time, obviously that's the app that you have to work. You know what I mean? Like that's a good thing about having different kinds of apps and different opportunities. And in some markets, one might be better than the other. But I gotta say, I like that you keep the numbers and you've got some facts behind your experience, right? And you have a record of what you can show. Okay, these are my mileage. I see that you had gas cost in there. One of them said hours, and you can actually see the difference for you, right?
Right.
And it's
And I got this
interesting.
going back 10,000 deliveries across every app I've done for 4 years.
Yeah. Thanks, Jose. Appreciate the 99, brother. It's interesting that I've been seeing so many, because the whole tier programs, really, a lot of people are talking about it, and I'm seeing mixed results, almost 50-50. People like you seeing a drastic change in profitability, whereas other people are saying, hey, I'm actually seeing more catering, or I'm seeing this. So it's just so odd how it's so different and so
Well, here's the thing. I think people like me might be more affected by it because one, I'm leaving my market. I'm going to places where it's unknown to me, and where I realize, hey, just accepting every order, earn my time might be more beneficial because I don't know the neighborhoods, I don't know the times, I don't know the markets while I'm traveling. But the past 4 years in Manchester, New Hampshire, I got to know that market so intimately that I would know, hey, no, I cannot take that $15 for 2 miles because it's going by the school. The school's getting out.
Yeah.
And I'll be stuck there.
You might not know that. In another zone, you might not know that, right? And in some zones, the infrastructure can be so different based on the mileage or stop signs or school bus schedules or street, so many intricacies. Construction zones over this, where it might take an extra 5 or 10 minutes, where if you, didn't take it and you wait, you get something better that's not part of that construction zone. So really interesting stuff.
I knew in Manchester, New Hampshire, that I needed to pause Uber Eats at 1:30 every day, so I could turn on DoorDash at 1:45, go hang out in the McDonald's parking lot, because at 1:57 every day, it would pop up an order, and I'd be the closest one to it, that would go 200 feet across the street from that McDonald's.
Yeah.
And it would pop up and say $6. I'd pick it up and walk it across the street and get my $50 cash tip.
Oh, see, there you go. That's a super unicorn right there. Yeah, that's crazy. But I think us seasoned drivers have those little honey hot spots, or whatever you want to call them, those areas of customers where you just know, hey, if I'm here, the likelihood of me getting better paying offers is just 10 times, right? Or if I'm over here, I'll probably want to pause my dash because I don't want to get offers from this Little Caesars because they're bad, or this McDonald's bad, but this one's good. So I think we all kind of have that. I appreciate you sharing your I don't like that you're not having a good experience with it. You're seeing less money, but I like that you got Uber.
Seeing less money isn't necessarily a bad experience, because, like I said, what I'm doing about this is all to facilitate this road trip. I'm trying to hit all 48 states. I'm trying to build a brand, trying to support myself, trying to build something other than just DoorDash along the way. I'm hoping to go out and hit St. Louis come this fall. Test out your market.
There we go. And no, that'd be awesome. If you do it, definitely email me, man. Justin, I appreciate your time. I'm going to bring up the next panelist for 5 or 10. Have a good, safe travels, and drive safe tonight, brother.
All right, see you, bud.
All right, man. All right. Let's see. I still see GigB. So just going to give a shout out real quick to the people in the back. GigB, Lynn, AMC. I'm going to get all you guys up. I see Kathy. How are you? Eduardo. I see Kevin Mango. Love me some Kevin. All right, let's bring GigB Tolls up real quick. And this is interesting. GigB Tolls, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
I'm going to share with everybody. GigB shared something with me. I think it was yesterday. Oh, yeah. So first, I want you to tell them what you kind of sent me a little bit. Give me that story, and then after that, tell us the topic you want to talk about tonight.
Well, I'll go ahead and tell the topic. The topic is premium. I'm sorry, premium. What's it called? Platinum. Thank you. Platinum dashers make more money.
Yeah.
And because, hey, I was over here like a week ago hollering, oh, I'm done playing the AR acceptance rate game, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And, well, I kind of ate my words a little bit. I got myself up to platinum status, and I've seen a difference. I got to say, man, you were right. You have to pivot, and, and it's kind of sucks having to take trash orders at first, but once you get up to that platinum status, if you know your market, know your honey holes, then hey, you can make it work for you. And as far as what I shared with you, you talked about the email I sent you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So glad I got myself with that platinum status, because I got that juicy Chipotle catering order.
I'm going to see if I can't pull it up, but I won't show you.
Yeah, see if you can pull it.
Go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
It was
your experience, what you've seen so far.
Oh, it's I've noticed I get some decent stacks, and now I'm seeing all the I wasn't seeing any of the plus orders, the ones with hidden tips. I wasn't seeing those at all when I was super duper cherry picking.
Yeah.
But now I'm seeing way more of those. And then I remember when I got that order, I was like, 26.50 plus is what it said. Right.
Yeah.
And, and I saw it was going to a school. I was like, oh crap. Okay. So it's probably gonna be like 27.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like 8 boxes worth of Chipotle stuff. And I had a hot bag full of other stuff like cutlery and all that. And they were super nice. They came out had a cart and they just had me put it all on the cart and they took off with it. But I didn't have to do much at all. And then I hit once I hit done with the order, collected signature, all that. And the person working the front counter laughed her butt off at me because my phone did a little because I saw how much I made off the order, and I turned, looked at her, and said, "You tell them." I said, "Thank you so much."
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm trying to bring it up on the screen.
Hey, I got it right here. Maybe we can see it. Hang on.
You can show the people. Yeah. So
Let's
really,
see. Can anybody see that? Let me. Anybody see that clear?
I mean, they get the gist of it. Yeah. So your experience so far is that you have seen some benefits, and hey, who knows? That could have been like a just complete, like you're not gonna right, but you've had some success with it. So
yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody how to do this. If cherry picking is working for you and you don't want to give DoorDash the time, I get it. I understand. I felt the same way. And just multi-app and do different stuff. And also, I do definitely agree with you about the you're not an independent contractor thing, especially with Deliver That, because I've been doing a little more Deliver That too. And I'll say people doing Deliver That, be very careful. Read the fine print, because I made the horrible assumption that every order was part of the Easy Cater order.
Oh, no, it's
the
not.
Easy Cater tip bowl. No, it's not. I learned the hard way. I did one for I think it's a Buca de Beppo, and I made $8. $8 on that offer. That was it. Ugh.
So what?
But,
what GigB told us to talk about when you accept an order on Deliver That, you need to scroll, and obviously you're looking at your commission, the mileage, extra commission for mileage. There might be, I think there's a surge thing. I've never seen that, but you have to look at the gratuity line. The gratuity line,
exactly.
Say $1 amount, or there'll be a big paragraph telling you it's an Easy Cater. So if that gratuity is like $0 or even $10, you shouldn't take it, because
that's gonna kick it right back.
The commission versus the other. So you got to be careful with those.
Just a little warning for Deliver That people. Yeah, just read the fine print. Don't make the mistake I did.
All right.
But
I think we mostly agree tonight about the topic.
Yeah.
Not much to debate between us.
Yeah. That's why I was like, well, I want to tell them, like, hey, you were right. I was the one arguing that you shouldn't play the games, all that crap. Well, I decided to play the games, and it's been kind of working out. So,
well, we'll keep tabs on you. You can come back and tell us if that's a little bit different later.
Oh yeah, of course.
Independent and very fluid, but I appreciate you for coming on, brother. I'm gonna let the next guest up.
All right, guys, take it easy.
All right, thanks. All right, I'm gonna bring in. Let's see who we got left. Kevin. Okay, everybody's still there. If you want to come up, the comment is pinned up at the top. The link is pinned up at the top. Tonight's topics, I'll put them up on the screen real quick. If you have something different, you could talk about that as well. DoorDash is not dead. Migrants are not the issue. Shout out to Dash and Trader. He actually me and him collabed again. He did a video, popped off just 30 minutes or about an hour ago. Shout out to him. He filmed us some content talking about Walmart Spark, what he sees in Edwardsville, which is just about 40 minutes from me. It's a really good video. Shout out to Trader. Platinum Dashers are making more money. Okay. And you are not an independent contractor. I just don't think we are anymore, guys. And if you feel like you are, that's okay. I feel like we're misclassified. I'm just going to, for tax purposes, we are technically, but even it's just weird. As far as our work, we're just not. We're just not. I just don't think, I don't see it like that. We're something different. I really believe that. All right, let's bring Lynn up. Lynn, let's bring Lynn to the show. Lynn, how you doing tonight, dear?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So what topic do you want me to put on the screen? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, We are independent contractor.
We are. Okay, let me put it up.
All right, I'll put it this way. Now I get it. Traditional sense, I know. It's like a job needs to be done. Boom. The contractors bid. They say what they want to pay, or what they want to get paid for it, and boom, and then the employer or the person will say, okay, I'll take this person and that bid. And yeah, I get it. That's traditional independent contracting. The contractor sets the price or what they're going to get paid. I understand that. I have worked that way before. Most of what I've done by way of independent contracting, that's how it was. But it just as gig economy, as we know it, is totally different. Independent contracting is different. This is just new. This is what 21st century independent contract.
Yeah, it's different than what it was even 10 years ago.
Yes, it's different. Things evolve, things change in this instance. Yeah, traditionally, there still are independent contractor in the truer, well-known sense of the word, but we're newfangled independent contracting. In this instance, we're definitely, of course, not employees in the sense of we don't have a guaranteed pay.
Yeah,
it's just there's too many variables about what we will get paid and stuff. It's not a hard, fast, boom. You're going to at least get X amount of dollars, period.
Right.
So in that sense, it's still kind of up to us what we accept. It is kind of up to us. If we don't do any work, we don't get an impact. 100% of nothing is still nothing. Whether you got 100% on the other end. So in ways, I have an EIN. I've had one for years, and stuff. And into how they classify by way of taxes, what as a 1099. They use the word of what is it? A entity.
Yeah.
And that just made it more vast to how to describe contractor or business owner, which is what a contractor kind of is. It's like either you'll have a business or business entity is how it is worded.
Yeah.
It's a vast word, but that's how it's said.
I want to give a shout out to Dash Your Life for why Boots go check.
Oh yeah.
DoorDash ain't dead. # silly challenge production. That's what. But listen, yeah, I mean, I know in his market, Boots kills it with.
He's phenomenal.
Good job. So appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. So Lynn, you're saying you are and you feel like an independent contractor, but you also realize it's not. It's a little bit of a gray area, like some people. Because it's not traditional. We don't have control over the work and the pay that we do. We do have control with accept decline. But now with the tier program, many drivers are feeling like they don't even have control because if they want that now, if they want whatever, they feel like they got to do things. Sometimes they don't want to. So we're in this really gray area. That's why we're not in.
That's what it is. I mean, it's not traditional, but it's not a job. It kind of, I get, they want the job. These companies want the job mentality. They want going through the motions of having a job without the benefit of you calling you an employee. So we kind of walking this tightrope, kind of like we're walking this little chalk line right here. And so you have to be classified that in order to not have to pay you a salary per se, that you'll know what you're making. So I get it. It's not traditional
Yeah.
in that sense, but they use those words to kind of that verbiage. This is kind
The
of
companies
put
use
you in that category.
the companies use it to skirt out of certain tax things and paying us this and having to offer certain things, but so the companies do a really good job of that. But yeah, I just my feeling.
But no, I agree that I agree with you in that it's very employee behavior.
Yeah.
I agree with it, and you're right with the tier system. It absolutely is like we want that benefit. That benefit of you not being an employee, but you are. You act like an employee, but you're really not an employee. Kind of like so. It is in a sense that you do have more. You have the options as to whether to accept something or not. And you know what? You can write in, you have a little more leeway than you realize of what you do, than you realize than what if you were an employee. You do have the leeway of yes, I can, or no, I cannot accept that. And it's like, okay, no, you're gonna have to offer me a little bit better. Or you wait and you watch and you wait for the right order that is going to benefit you and make you a profit. And so in that sense, you are a business owner in that, you're going to do what's best for your business that makes you a profit. As most businesses, they want to make a profit. So you do have a little bit more leeway with that. And the way I am able to do with DoorDash and keep my stats high, I'm now gold is what I am. And I do that because I treat DoorDash like a naughty child. That's what DoorDash is to me. I would time you out, get time out. No. And so it's like, okay, are you gonna behave? Okay, then I'll turn you back on. Okay, what you got? What you got for me? What you got for me? Yeah. Okay, good. All right, cool. I'll take this. All right, fine. Okay, I'll take that. Oh, that's great because that's a profit. I'm running the thing. I'm only profit, not running it to make a loss at all. So that's what. Okay, fine. And then, okay. $3 for 10 miles. Okay, now you're acting crazy. Okay, I already have Uber Eats over here running in the side. So try me. Try me, DoorDash. I got you over. Okay, Buzz from
DoorDash ain't getting run Lynn. And she's still independent. DoorDash isn't getting over on you, and you're still independent.
They're not going to do it because you have to work within their parameters, but you could still handle things your way and still make a profit. That's what I've been doing for all these years.
Listen,
slow down. It don't matter because I know how to work anyone at all those companies. I know what they're capable of. So DoorDash, you treat them the same way and all. And so when you're cutting up, then I'll pause you. I got this already running. Oh, look, Uber Eats, boom. Okay, Uber Eats, now you acting crazy? Over here, really? Uber Eats, fine. Well, DoorDash is on. Let me unpause. What you got for me, DoorDash? Okay, oh, you acting right now. Okay, good. I'm taking that one right here. Okay, Uber, I'll put you on pause. Okay, fine. Pause you, give you a break now to have that where you can schedule yourself a little break on there and tap that, and then I'll go do the DoorDash. And then sometimes in conjunction, things work perfectly to where I'm picking up Uber Eats and DoorDash at the same place. We go in the same way, and boom, I can drop this off on the way. Boom, go at advanced multi-app, and everybody gets what they need in a good time. So That's independent.
I like it.
That's independent. That's not an employee.
I'm gonna let the next person up.
Okay.
Lynn is still independent. She's feeling it. She's working the apps. I don't think we're independent contractors. But Lynn does, and I respect it. Lynn, I always appreciate you being here.
Okay. All right.
All right. So let me see who we got waiting. I see AMC. I see Kevin. I see Tacklin, maybe. I see Abel, SoCal, Christopher. I see Kathy, and I see Eduardo as well. So let me say hi to the chat real quick before we bring the next person up. April, Fox 7, Nathan, Joy Rider. Appreciate you guys. Mauricio, Ronald, Brandon, Robert, Baltimore Aviation, Twisted Monkey, Hub City Hustler. See a titty in there. Titty. Shout out to Jose and Dasher Life for the super chats. Appreciate you. $5 from the Black Widow. Thank you very much. All right. What up, Bobby? How you doing, bro? Used to see you over on the other channel, man. It's a pleasure. Let me read what Bobby says. Bobby's my man right here. Making the ability to schedule contingent upon AR sounds like an employer to me. Bobby ain't wrong. Bobby ain't wrong at all. Bobby is not wrong at all. All right. We're going to read one more before we bring in AMC is going to be next. So AMC, you're coming up in about 10 or 15. Hector Hustles, appreciate you, brother. Pedro Santiago is not dead. If it was dead, I would not be in other person's panels or run my channel. Hector Hustles, great show. That's what I'm saying, Hector, man. People be saying it's dead. And I think, I do respect people that when they realize their market has died or it's dried up for whatever reasons, we have to understand one thing. I want to be very clear. This is to Hector's point and some of you other in the chat, right? Two things can exist at the same time. So I could come on YouTube and say, man, DoorDash ain't dead for me in St. Louis. While somebody else somewhere else can say, well, DoorDash is dead for me. This is why. My only rebuttal of that person would be, hey, well, it might be dead for you because you didn't adapt and you didn't see what DoorDash was telling you. You didn't read the writing on the wall because you didn't want to, right? And that's okay. But as long as you tried something else and you're making money doing something else, maybe that was your adaptation. As long as you're doing that and you're making money, it's cool, right? But we can't sit in our car and wait for those big, juicy orders. There's not as many. The app has changed for many reasons. So some people could say it's dead, but it might be their fault that it's dead. And some people will not like that I say that, but that can be true, right? I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. Just give them perspective. And you guys can come up and share with me like the panelists did with his numbers, right? Like these are real things, right? GigB Tolls comes up. He sent me that email. I didn't know he was going to be here tonight. He sent me an email, I think, yesterday. Big banger order, right? So we have to be careful with the language we use as creators, myself included, because we are a market of one. Big Carl's in the chat. Big Carl dashes in the zone, in my same zone sometimes when he does it, and the zone right below me, right south of me. And he's been to other zones as well. I've met Carl 2 times now, okay? His experience is his experience on DoorDash. He calls DoorDash door trash. Don't blame him because that's his experience. But I've also known when he's done certain things, he's seen the benefits of it. But there are times he just doesn't want to play the games. He doesn't want to do certain things. And I respect that, right? But 2 things can be the same. We're in the same market, basically. And his experience is different than mine, right? All right. Let me go ahead and bring up the next guest. Let me get rid of this real quick. Hold up real quick. April, what's up? What's up? Appreciate you saying what up, Sigma. What up? What up? Let's bring in my man AMC. I'm long-winded, brother. Sorry. How you doing?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Always a pleasure to see you. I appreciate you not having the mask. I'm liking the beard. All right. Give me what topic do you want tonight, brother? Which one of you want to talk about, or do you have something else for us?
Yeah, I mean, I want to do a little story time. It's not long though, but
At the floor.
it's relative to the topic. So in my market, I usually work like I'll try to pull off like a good like 9 to 10 hour shift on a bike, and what I'm noticing is it took me a while to learn that like if I stuck around till like 2 or 3 o'clock p.m., a lot of the drivers end up going home, and then all the orders that come in like they're bangers, you know. But that's kind of gone away. There's walls of people in front of restaurants in my market now because of what happened in New York. But what I noticed was around 3:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, I start getting the alcohol orders, and they're heaters, like they're $17, $20 or whatever it is. So I usually do them. I like them a lot. And then when I complete them, I notice that the base pay is pretty high. The base pay is like $8,
Mm.
$7.50 or something like that. So I completed a second one, and then I got called to go to ShopRite, so I went over there. And then I had a conversation previously about the drivers that were picking up the alcohol orders last time. So
Mhm.
I thought I'd record it on my phone. I got the recording. I'm not gonna put it on the stream, but I was asking her like, hey, when you go in there, they ask you for identification because it's alcohol. And I mean, it's the state of New Jersey, so they're pretty strict about alcohol out here. So, but is it required? Like, does DoorDash tell them to ask us for a
Yeah.
license? I don't
I've,
know. You know, I don't think it's.
I think I've only been asked at a certain 7-Eleven, maybe once or twice about for an ID. Otherwise, I don't really
I
get
got
asked.
you.
Yeah.
What about? Do you ever get asked to like confirm the order though when you pick it up?
Oh, I get that all the time. I don't mind
Yeah.
that at all.
Okay.
Yeah, as long
Okay.
as
Cool.
either they're as long as they're getting ready to hand me the food, or I already have it, it's cool.
Yeah.
If they're trying to have me confirm it, but the order's not ready, I usually don't do that. But if it's ready or I see it's behind them, yeah, it's always my pleasure to confirm it. I don't got a problem with that.
Yeah. No. At first, I was like, "Oh, well, you don't trust me? Like, you think I'm gonna rob the food or something? Like, what's up
No.
with you?" But after a while, I was like, "Oh no, I get it."
Once you do it once or twice with some people, they might get to know you and they're not going to ask you because they realize you're not part of the issue. But if it's
You're
from
like a regular, right?
I've never been before, or it's a new staff member, I actually like that they ask me that because it shows me they're trying to protect their customer. They care about their business. So for me, it's my pleasure. I'll confirm it for you. Have a great day. Maybe I'll see you later. I don't have a problem with it. Yeah.
So I brought that up because it brings my other point through. I was talking to her and she told me that apparently 98% of the drivers that come to pick up alcohol orders don't have the identification. When you have when they're boom. So to me, it's like, what are we like? How many people are running off on like somebody else's account? Like, how is this like? This must be affecting us much more than we actually think. You know, if the base pay is like $12 on a liquor order, dude, in my market, because they can't verify that their identification, that's absurd. You know, sometimes I think it's a good tip, but it's like, no, like nobody could get verified, you know? And listen, the companies haven't done a good job of keeping the platform secure. This is all their fault.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think so? Instacart, Uber, and DoorDash, I've all had to do facial recognition at least twice with each of those apps. Some of them more often than others. Uber does it more often. Instacart does it more often. DoorDash is kind of third, is how often I've had to do it in the last like year and a half or 2 years. Yeah. But do you think it should be to where like when you log in, you know, you want it before you hit Dash Now, or when you log in with Instacart, I have to like put in my phone number. Do you think there should just be the facial recognition every time you have to log in?
I think it should be. I think restaurants have to play their part, bro, and they have to make sure they're giving the orders off to the right people because it's a security risk, especially in my area where there's a lot of density. And if there's just like a random dude picking up orders left and right, then I don't think that the restaurants care though, because I don't know how it works in the back end where if something happens to the food, is it on the restaurant or is it on Uber or is it on DoorDash? You know, I don't know the specifics of that so much, but
yeah,
it like, you know how much you know how much better the platforms would be if restaurants were like, that doesn't match your name, like you have to unassign the order. I don't know what to tell you. It's policy. It's policy now. You know what I mean? I think that'd make a big difference because sorry, go ahead.
I think for them, it's almost like some merchants, they should do a better job, but they also realize, I think they don't want that food to go to waste. They don't want to lose out on sales. They don't want to wait another 5 even minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And the companies know this too, meaning DoorDash and Uber and all of them. They just want to get the orders out. And like, if, you know, in some markets, especially yours and other places, if the restaurants did a better job of actually vetting the driver, asking appropriate questions, not giving pizzas out to people that don't have hot bags or whatever it is, then they might, I think as a restaurant, they feel like they would like lose out on revenue, right? And it's almost like the companies just want anybody to bring them to deliver the goods. But places like yours, yeah, I think that local spot where you say drivers are hanging out, you've got a lot more migrants where you're at, St. Louis, right? So those merchants are gonna move differently. You know, whether
I mean, if I open like a Cuban spot, I would want to, you know, make sure that the driver at least has the identity, you know, at least like is the right person picking up the food or something like that. But I guess it gets complicated. You don't want an altercation in your restaurant either. You don't want like a delivery driver that doesn't speak English to freak the fuck out. I get it. Like I think that speaks to your point too. Yeah. But like, bro, we're just talking about the money. You know, it's like there's so many, and the reason I bring that up is because that's how that legislation got passed in New York. You know, it's just like, oh no, we're not getting paid. It's like, we're not getting paid. We're only like, I'm making $7 an hour. It's like, dude, are you working like 5 apps at the same time like me? Like, are you like, hello? Like, you're not an employee. You don't have to pick every single order up. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then they go and they pass a law, and now we're dealing with this, bro. And it sucks. It's terrible. It's terrible. Got dozens and dozens of e-bikes all over the streets, riding on sidewalks, all this stuff. You got the council members involved, everything. Yeah. And it's like,
so for you, let me put this up. I feel like for you, it's very different than others, but it's similar to some. So for you in your spot, migrants are an issue. Like, you see it every day is what you're saying.
I didn't like security. I think is, I would like if I were to get behind a microphone, I'd be like, no, this is a safety hazard. You got people that aren't licensed operating machinery, going into people's buildings where they're not vetted, they're not verified, they're not, whether they're immigrant, whether they're from freaking Mars, it doesn't matter. Like, we need to know that there's a paper trail if something happens in someone's building, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter where they're from. They could be from Pluto, bro. You know, because to me, that's where I'm at with it. Like, bro, we're not going to change what's going on with Biden and all this crap. Like, like, we're not going to snap our fingers and then boom, like, oh, we put up the border wall, we're straight now. Like, that's not going to happen, dude.
It don't work like that. It don't work like
that. Yeah, man. All right, man. Thank you for your time, though, bro. I appreciate it.
I always appreciate you coming on and sharing perspective. Yeah. Have a good night, man.
I'll see you soon, man. Take care.
Thanks, man. All right, let's say what's up to my man. Let's see who we got waiting real quick. We still have Kevin. I see Kathy. I see Bud Soda. I see. I hope I'm saying it right. Is it Tackling? Can you give me a thumbs up? I can see you. Am I pronouncing it right or wrong? Oh, it's wrong, isn't it? Yeah. I'm so bad with names. I'm horrible. And people call me like, it's crazy. I'll get it when you come up. I'll have you say it, and I won't pronounce it wrong again. I see Abel waiting as well. I see. I don't know who. Oh, I know who. I know who HMM is, so we'll bring him up as well. He was the last person to come in. What up, Pedro? Oh, what up, GigB? Sorry. Pedro, how was your week with catering? Pretty good. Not bad. One came in tonight, like about 2 hours ago, and I heard it and I tried to accept it. I think it was for tomorrow. I'll just try, but I didn't get it. But it was good, man. I had a good week. My payouts have gone up each week. So the 2 payouts I had this week, the one that was yesterday and Wednesday, were both the highest they've been. So yesterday was the highest ever, and then followed by Friday was the highest one ever. So the pay's going up. So I'm happy with it. All right, let's bring in my man Kevin. Kevin, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Hello. Hey, Pedro.
What topic do you want me to put the banner up? So you wanna tell me how you feel about it? Which one?
I watched your video last night about the fact that we're not really true independent contractors, and I have to agree with you. I think what we are is we're what you would call a hybrid. We're not true employees, but yet we're not exactly true independent contractors. We can't set our own price, but we do have a hell of a lot more freedom than, let's say, that driver who works for UPS.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say this, these people that you got your FedEx delivery drivers and your UPS and there's no vans and the Amazon actual vans. Well, we got to remember, no, they're not using their own vehicles to make these deliveries, but they're on a schedule. And they can't just go up to their boss and say, hey, I'm not working today. That doesn't really fly.
Yeah.
And I will say this, that out of all the gig apps, at least the gig apps that I have available, that DoorDash is really the one that really treats you like an employee. Now, when it comes to Uber...
Kevin, tell me the difference between DoorDash and the other apps that you work? Why do you feel like they treat you more like an employee? Give me your reason for that.
Well, with DoorDash, well, this week the tier program came in my market, and I'll tell you one thing: if you don't have your AR at what is it, 70%, and you don't have that little platinum status, you can't just hop in to DoorDash whenever you jolly well please. But with Uber Eats and Instacart and Grubhub, I can go back and forth. You know, I get a DoorDash order, I can turn all the other apps off, do the DoorDash order, and then after I complete that, I can go back online with the other apps. But with DoorDash, if you got a dash going, nah, and you can't just go offline with DoorDash or whatever, and that doesn't work. And
well, for some it doesn't. I could turn on DoorDash off and on 100 times a day. I could dash along.
Yeah, but you got that acceptance rate.
I do. You're right.
If you don't have that acceptance rate, you can't really exactly do that.
True. You're right. You're right. So your experience will be different than mine, and you know, because of how we look at the apps, how good or bad our marketplace is. But I appreciate you bringing up my video from yesterday, because I'll say this: like 2 years ago, I remember having conversations with live panelists or people in the chat. I've even answered some emails where people are like, I was saying we were independent contractors. I was like, yes, we're independent. We're independent. We're independent. But the more that I've learned about what that really means, and the more that the apps have changed, not just DoorDash, but a lot of them, I don't feel very independent. I mean, I feel independent in how I move and the decisions I can make, but also there's enough moments when I'm working any platform, Deliver That or DoorDash or Instacart, where I have to do certain things. And I'm getting text messages reminding me of I have an order and this and that. And you have to, you know, so it makes it feel like it's like this hybrid of like, you're doing some employee kind of movement, but then you're also moving like an independent contractor, especially when tax time comes along. But are we independent contractors overall? I don't think we are, Kevin. I really don't, man. I really don't think we are. I think we're evolving into something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even with like Uber Eats and Instacart, and the Uber Eats, what these apps do is they can actually decide, the computer can decide, hey, no, we're not going to send Pedro any orders, and we're not going to really send you any orders unless maybe all the other drivers are just busy or they just went home for the day.
Yeah.
But it's not all bad. You know, there's some positive things, and I think, you know, these people that get up here and say, "Oh, DoorDash is dead," and you know, I've read some of the comments in your videos. Oh, all I see is $4 or $5 orders, blah blah blah. And
yeah.
You know, honestly, I tell you, we need to focus on the positive, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm gonna say this. You know, if all you have is DoorDash, and you want to go ahead and continue to do this kind of work, then I suggest you get off your ass and get some other apps. Now, I do realize that maybe you've already tried that and you're on the wait list. I know I was on the wait list from Grubhub from like December of 2022 right up until the beginning of April this year. And then Grubhub finally sent me a notice, hey, you can go ahead and continue your sign up. But it's a matter of perspective. And the bottom line is, you've said it, other content creators have said it. If it's not working out, then move on and do something else.
There you go. I mean, and that's a tough pill to swallow for some, because they feel like maybe their opportunities have been taken away by individuals that have come into their market. Markets, whether it's migrants or oversaturation. So some people, you know, they might not have all the opportunities that based on their marketplace or their oversaturation, or they're on a wait list. So it's tough, man. It's hard to navigate because everybody has a different experience on these apps, and I know that. But I think overall what you're saying about, we got to take that responsibility. you know, if you're still doing DoorDash and you hate it, but you're complaining, it's like, why are you still doing it? Like, let's try something different. Let's adapt. And, you know, I've been talking about that for basically almost 2 years, adapting, re-strategizing. But for some, it's harder based on the marketplace, and it sucks. I get that. But Kevin, always a pleasure. Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Are you taking like a nighttime stroll? Are you walking around your neighborhood? You look like you're.
Oh no, I'm here at a parking lot here in front of Kohl's, and they turned the lights went out. So instead of standing by my car, I've kind of moved up to where there's some lighting, because I am definitely aware that, you know, in this world that we live in, we have some people that try to do some shit. But and I just want to add, I watched Dancing Trader. He made a video maybe about a month ago about he got a scooter, and he went to this one location, and where he dashes, he put the scooter in his car, and then he actually got the scooter out. So I suggest that for those of you who may be living in an area, what you can do is you can go buy yourself a little scooter, you go park, and your car becomes like a mothership, and you go do the deliveries. You can go ahead and maybe do a $4 or $5 order or whatever on a scooter, electric scooter, saving yourself some money and saving some gas. So that's another way you can adapt.
Kevin, I'm not getting on no scooter, brother. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I'm not Dancing Trader. He can do that. Kevin, always a pleasure. I got some people waiting. I'm gonna let the next person up. Kevin, have a good, safe drive home. Have a safe drive home. Tell your mom Happy Mother's Day from Mr.BetonYou. Can you do that for me?
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate you coming on, brother.
You're welcome.
Shout out to Kevin, one of my favorite people on the panelists when he comes up. DDIS, appreciate that, man. Thank you. Gig apps need to be capped on the amount of drivers they can have, so they can't just oversaturate the market. I agree. But what is that cap, and how would that be regulated to get those low orders delivered? Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, on one hand, DDIS delivery, when we oversaturate a market, there's some benefits to it, because maybe there's more drivers out there that are willing to take the $2, $3, $4 orders, the $10 order going 15 miles. Maybe they take those. We don't ever see them, and the people that know the marketplace a little bit better can take the ones that are more profitable. You know, so it's a catch-22, but I definitely think that, especially newer apps, when they start their business, they want everybody, because they know through a lot of, you know, for various reasons, people are only going to work the app for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. The saturation level is definitely an issue, especially with DoorDash. So you're spot on with that. Bye-bye, James. What's up? All right. So I see Kathy. I see Abel. I'm going to bring Kathy up. I think I know what Kathy wants to talk about, but I'm not sure. It's up to Kathy. This is y'all's show. I got 4 topics, and if you got something different, you could bring it up. Let's bring Kathy up. It's been a couple of months since she's been on.
Hi. How's it going?
Great.
I'm dying. Yes, you know, it's the migrant situation. Okay. Yes.
Let me put the banner up.
Okay.
Okay. This is my stance. Migrants are not the issue. Now, Kathy, the floor is yours.
Okay. All right. So we'll go back to the last time that I was on live. Mm-hmm. We were going to have a store meeting with the store manager, and
This is Walmart, right? This is Walmart, right, guys?
Right, for Spark. Okay. Yeah. We did have a 1-hour meeting, which I thought was very nice that they gave us that amount of time to do. They had said, of course, you know, that there were things that they were aware of. There was a group of about 12 of us that actually went in there. We had videos, we had pictures, we had, you know, all the I Spy stuff that we possibly could have to give them this information. Mm-hmm. You know, they call it market, which is basically their corporate person, the regional manager. So, you know, he took all that information back. You know, we felt like it was a good meeting, but we were hoping to be hopeful. You know, the store manager said, "Oh, I feel really super bad that you guys are losing income. You know, I don't want this to happen." So he kind of like was trying to treat us like almost employees at that point, like being heartfelt. Okay.
Kathy, how many drivers were part of it, if you don't mind telling us?
There were, well, you mean like how many actually showed up to the meeting? We had about a dozen. There was a dozen of us.
That's
and
good.
and all races. So this way we couldn't be told we were being, racist.
Yeah.
So because one of my driver friends, Ray, if you're watching, I keep telling him, I always talk about him because he's Puerto Rican and he's got a mouth. So
we all do.
I love him. I love him.
It's like a gift and a curse.
I said, yeah. But anyway, I said, it doesn't make any difference. The facts are the facts. How are they going about this? We've got people that are coming in from Illinois. Yes, I'm in Indiana, but you're going to drive at least 45 minutes. We all know how Chicago traffic is. Okay. Part of Indiana, Hammond, Indiana, right now, I heard some of the schools are closed because Chicago is full now. So now we've got where it's the safe haven state, they had to push them over to Indiana. Yet this is still not a safe haven state. We all know that this is a big government issue with everything that's going on, how this all began and just keeps unfolding. Going forward after the meeting, still more problems. We've kind of have figured out I'm going to call team captains, supervisors. They're bringing in new recruits, and they're showing them how to do things. I used to get a lot of shops pay more, shop and the deliver versus curbside. Okay. But that has gone again, considerably down. So in March, they updated our contract, 25 pages. Okay. And in that contract, it basically says that the stores have the right to ID people. Okay. We talked about it with store, like, hey, did you know that they updated our contract? They're like, oh, it's a third party. I'm like, okay, stop with the third party. Spark is Walmart. My 1099 says Walmart Incorporated on it. Okay. Do we need to go any further? You own this. Stop pretending it's somebody else that owns this. That's basically it, because this is the debate back and forth with even the store manager.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay. So, and of course, around that time, they also had an update. And with the updates, they always seem to lower the base pay. So, there's just this whole trifecta situation that goes on. Was constantly calling support, giving them all the same hoopla information. There are people that are in the store. They're basically doing a shop. And there's 2 or 3 people in one car. So you got 3 people doing three orders, but wait, they have 2 phones. So they're doing 6 orders, all piling into one car. Then they might go to curbside and pick up a curbside order. Now you've got possibly 8 orders in your car. How are you going to get that with the cold chain, which is about an hour and a half? You're going to get to all these people. It's not happening. It is just not happening. So what are they doing? They're stealing some of these things now. They get to keep this stuff. Okay, because the order gets canceled. They don't know what to do. They don't speak any English. They don't bring it back to the store. So now we got a problem where there's a loss. A customer calls. They said, I don't get my merchandise. They get a credit, a refund. And then so, now they have to reissue money to these people. So now they're losing out. It could be a $200 grocery order. Now that $200 order is $400. Of a loss, because 200 of it is now money that's going down the drain because we don't know where that merchandise is at.
Kathy, can I ask you a question? Because I have
sure.
In the chat, Cray Nay, a big supporter in the gig economy. She works at gig economy. She also runs a $1 million Walmart Spark business, and she manages it. Okay, and she ID, and it helps at her store. So are you saying, after having that hour meeting with the 12 of you, you think what should happen is the Walmart management and staff that are facilitating the Spark delivers for you drivers should do what Cray's doing at her store to help better alleviate the issue? Is that
yes.
Of a simple way of helping solve the problem, at least in your marketplace?
Exactly. The only thing that they actually did for us is, so far to date, is they have now put where all the drivers that do go in for a shop have only 4 registers, which are basically scan and go. They put signs up. Okay. That's as far as they've gone. But it was weird because when I did call support up in April, they said effective April 1st, it was mandatory for the stores to ID the drivers. It has not happened yet. The store manager has told people that, hey, we're not going to ID people. That takes too much time. Well, guess what? You're not going to get your bonus check, I'm sure, because there's going to be so many losses. Your store is going to wind up you having too much shrinkage.
So let me ask you a question. Let me put this back up. My stance is migrants are not the issue. So my thing would be, isn't that Walmart? Doesn't Walmart hold more of a responsibility to you than the person in the parking lot next to you?
I would say it's kind of like a 50-50. It's a yes and a no, to be honest with you, because they're aware of the problem. And if anything, since January, it is multiplied like rabbits. We have got so many. It is our curbside holds 33 spots. That's a lot. 33. Our curbside, we have 33 spots. So you can imagine this is an extremely high volume store.
Yeah.
I have heard out of all the other stores, there's 9 stores technically in a region. All the other stores I heard are IDing, but the superstore is not. Why? How hard is it? Better yet, you don't want to do that? We all have driver's license. We all have a barcode on the back. Can we do something on that order? Like if we go in to do a shop, like scan our ID or put it in the phone, something, but it's true, because I'm going to tell you what's been going on. Customers that I have delivered to before in the past are now a little bit more iffy and questionable, because now what's going on is some of them are asking for signature on delivery. And the reason is because they didn't get their merchandise.
Right.
Okay. But here's the best one. It'll be a week tomorrow. Last Sunday, one of the drivers, who happens to be Hispanic, actually placed an order. Okay. Her and her husband are both drivers. Happened to place an order. In the notes section, it said, do not ring my doorbell. Do not knock on the door. Text me. Okay. That you're arrived. Okay. This person, and she sent a picture to all of us to show on her Ring camera video, he opened up her screen door. He opened up her front door of her home, put the groceries down, saw the husband and wife look at him, and he ran off.
Interesting. Wow.
Now we've got problems, because this is not the first time that one, I'm going to say, of the individuals has done this. We're hearing numerous things. They opened up my door, or they've been lingering in my driveway afterwards. The other day I dropped off to a paralegal the other day, and she had told me that on her Ring camera, she was watching and she had a gun, because she got a little scared, because it took 2 people to drop off 4 little grocery bags to her front door. First off, if you can have a passenger, according to the contract, in the vehicle, but they can't work with you, okay, it means you're the only one going up to that person's door. It does not take 2 people and 2 separate trips with 4 little bags to go back and forth to a person's home. You're staking out their house. You want to see what they got around the house. So this is what's going on. We have talked to the police department. We have talked to the sheriff's department. This past week, one of the senators, Senator Braun, is in Indiana, is one of 3 senators that's trying to protect all of the apps. What are you going to do to help this issue? I sent him an email on Wednesday. I still am trying to multi-app. I'm still not getting days off anymore. My work-life balance sucks. It sucks. 7 days a week. I'm out there, mid-afternoon to the evening. Nobody should have to. I used to be able to work 4 or 5, 6 hours and make a decent income and work 5 days a week. And now I'm going to be honest, and I'm not embarrassed, to be honest with you. I had my cell phone shut off a month ago. My driver friends had to give me the money to help me to pay my damn bill. It should not be that way. I have had to make arrangements with utility companies. It should not be that way. And it's not that I'm mismanaging money. How is it that I have not been able to buy a pair of new shoes or go shopping other than buying a day or two's worth of groceries? Nobody should have to live this way.
So
I'm struggling. I'm on the struggle boat. Yeah.
You've really been impacted by it in your marketplace. So.
Oh, it's horrible. And the fact is that they're allowing this to happen, and there's video. And then even when they get caught, I'm going to say shoplifting in the store. Because sometimes we'll have where they have to look at our carts. You know, it'll come up for them to come and look at us.
Yeah.
And they'll only have to scan 3 items. Well, we've all found their trick is to put the most expensive thing that they want to take out of there at the bottom of the cart, because no one's going to fish at the bottom of the cart. Because part of it is they're not training the front end. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff that's happening with the shop orders has to do with the front end. The front end is doing nothing. With the manager in the back, we let him know. We text him. We call him, hey, look at spot 6. They're back again. We've had so many where he has put in tickets where it's basically to get somebody off the platform. They're not who they are type of thing. And they'll come back with somebody else's identity. I'm Polish. I'm sorry, you're not a Kozlowski. You know what I'm saying? I can say that. You know what I'm saying? But it's scary. I don't know what YouTube thing I had saw, but I had heard that actually they're not allowed to work for at least 6 months. They have to wait 180 days just in general to even get a job or an independent contractor job. So how are they getting it? Well, we've all found out there's people selling their account. You can pay X amount of dollars. Yeah. They're putting robust bots in the system to get the highest paying order. They're getting into their servers in the store. They're all aware of this. Nobody's spending money on technology. $1 billion company needs to spend money on proper technology. We even do a facial recognition at least once a week. They have software for that too. They can bypass that. These people have not been background checked. Now I've got seniors that are scared. I'm so glad that you showed up, Kathy, because I had some strange guy. I was expecting Jessica to come and somebody else came and it was a guy. Nobody wants to be fearful in their community. We've got a lot of seniors. We've got a lot of women, you know, anybody, you know, it's just like, we don't know what the intent is, but they're here for some reason. Plus they're supposedly getting, you know, financial assistance and aid and everything else. Why do they need this job? I can't even qualify for food stamps. I'm too rich. So where's that money that they're making going, and how are they even getting paid? That's the big question mark. Yeah. You know, and it's not just Spark. I know that a lot of the other platforms around here, when I've signed on, I'm noticing the same kind of BS orders. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Because I can feel it coming out of you, you know, and I appreciate you sharing some really vulnerable things with us and your perspective. And I really appreciate that out of you, Kathy. And I'd expect nothing less because you've done it before. You come and you share with us your experience. And I love that because your experience is different than mine. And I think we can learn from each other, or at least I can have an understanding, because I don't, you know, the way that you and I work the gig economy and our markets are different and what we see is different, you know, but I like to hear a different perspective. But I want to ask you this, because I'm the Mr. Migrants aren't the issue. I'm looking at it differently. My experience is differently. So when you see me say something, and do you ever feel like slated in any way? Or do you feel like, well, Pedro, you're wrong because no, look, this is happening to me. Like, how do you feel when I say certain things? Do you feel like I'm being insensitive, or just give me your thoughts on that?
No, I don't, because like you said, every market is different. Every area is different. And until it happens in your area, you're not going to have the same experience, just like anybody else. You know, it happens to be where you're at. You know, I know that the video that you put on earlier today, he's in Edwardsville. That's near Springfield. And that's kind of like College Town, USA, kind of. So I don't think that problem's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I'm about 15 minutes from Lakeshore Drive, you know, technically, because, you know, the lake, the chain of lakes.
Is right there, the border.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, I don't know if they're trying to feel like they're part of the area, but the joke is they're all walking around with swimming trunks. Like we can spot them in the store. I'm like, oh, he's one of them. They got the new group. They got, you know what I'm saying? Or they're wearing certain colors for the day. You know, it's like, so I kind of feel like in a way, it's kind of like they have their little groups. You know, I've heard somewhere that some of them have been fighting out in certain areas. You know, you've got, you know, this group versus this group. And it's crazy because somewhere under the line, it's
groceries and food. It's like become, in some areas, it's become this gangland turf war, right? And it's so crazy because it's Walmart delivery, but there's, you know, there's money in it, and it's definitely interesting.
And as I said, 2 years I've been doing this, and I've just seen it shrink down so bad.
Yeah, I'd love to have you on again, and talk about and brainstorm even with other people, like what are other things that we could do so that we're not in a position like you are. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, I have Instacart and I have DoorDash. Do any of these ones, because I don't know on the receiving end, do they see a picture of us at all?
Oh, that's a great question. So Uber Eats, when if I order from Uber Eats or Uber, if I get an Uber cab, you know, or Uber tag, whatever, you see the person's name and their face. Yes.
Yeah, because I did Uber years ago, and I remembered we used to have that thing in the car. That was when the original owners owned Uber back in the day. But
no, you see that with DoorDash, you just see a name. Instacart, you see face and name with Instacart, I believe. You guys correct me in chat, but I'm pretty sure even with Instacart, you see. I know you see a name, and I think there's a face attached. With the other apps I've worked, like the catering ones, I think the consumer gets information that like somebody's going to pick it up, but I don't know if it's the name. It's definitely not a face.
See, I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, is to have the proper name with the face. You know what I'm saying? Like have a picture up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Of who's bringing your stuff. You know, I mean, there's got to be this, you know, a simplified version for all of the apps. It's not just one or the other, so that everyone is safe, that everybody can still have their independent contractor position, you know, and not have to worry about outside filtration of someone trying to basically take their American dream. You know what I'm saying? Of putting food on the table, you know?
Yeah.
So that's it. I think it all has to do with identification is the biggest problem with all the apps.
Yeah. Yeah. Kathy, I appreciate you coming on and sharing that stuff with us. I appreciate you being vulnerable and
some people might not want to say that things have happened to them, but I just let it all.
I think there's a great amount of
being honest,
awareness and honesty. Really, you can't go wrong with that. And just being true and being vulnerable. I mean, it's tough. People are struggling. I've been there. Listen, Kathy, I've had my phone shut off too. You know, it's been a while. I've had that. I've had an arrangement with the utility company. I think I've done those things. So I feel that. But I just want to say I appreciate you sharing it because I know that it's not easy. And I appreciate you being honest with us tonight. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Have a good night, everyone. Bye. Happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day. All right, Kathy. Yeah, my stance is migrant aren't the issue. I'm looking at it from a different lens than Kathy. But clearly she's seeing things that a lot of you guys are seeing. She's having that experience. I asked Dashing Trader. We did a video together. He filmed it. It was on the channel at 8:30 tonight, right? And I said, hey, man, I know maybe you do Walmart Spark. I don't. Can you do a video about what you're seeing? Just drop your whatever. And he made the video. Whatever he wanted to say, that's what was in the video, right? And he brought up some good points, kind of on both sides. But I wanted somebody's perspective that does Spark in a different zone because I've never done Spark. So I can't vouch for that necessarily, right? All right. Let's see. Appreciate you guys for being here. Hit the thumbs up. We still got, some people dropped out. They're not here. I see Abel is next. I'm going to bring Abel up. I don't see... okay, let me add Abel to the... Abel, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
How you doing, man? What topic do you got on your mind tonight that I can put up that you can give us your...
Let's talk about DoorDash. That's like my main app. So I do DoorDash, I do Uber Eats, I do all the Spark.
Okay.
I recently got added to Roadie, but tell you what you said about Corey, it's kind of like, heavy stuff. I'm in the sedans. It's not really that deep, but
Yeah.
it's opportunities.
Yeah.
That's what I like to say.
So what are you experiencing in the gig economy right now? How is it for you? Is it good, bad, great? Tell us about what's going on for you right now.
So I'm located in California. I'm like 2 hours away from LA. My zone is called Bakersfield, California, and I guess recently DoorDash had the tier system since December of last year, right? They have the tier system. They have Top Dash, so they took that away. And I guess recently, I don't see a lot of people talking about this, but we have the new tier system, the 2.0, I like to call it, where it's an 80% acceptance rate, 150 deliveries to become platinum.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, but believe it or not, in my zone at least, I've been told that in other zones they have this thing where they took away Dash Now anytime. So in my market, there is no Dash Now anytime. So even as a platinum driver, you still have to schedule.
So you still have to schedule?
No, we don't.
You don't.
No, so we have so a platinum driver and a gold driver would be able to Dash Now when it's busy. But but there's no such thing as Dash Now anytime. You hear what I'm saying? So there's Dash Now and there's Dash Now anytime.
Let me ask you a question. What is your current acceptance rate with DoorDash?
I usually hover about 70 to 80%.
Between 70 and 80. What do you think would happen if you dropped it to say 40% next week? Do you think you would make more money or less money? What do you think would happen if it dropped 30%?
So because again, in my zone, the silver status is 60, gold and platinum is 80. So knowing that my market's very oversaturated, I feel like I wouldn't be getting a lot of the high paying orders compared to other people. So I feel like my income would probably dip just because everyone's, in my zone at least, like I said, it's like a medium-sized city.
Okay.
We have Part 22, so even so, here basically everyone takes everything. We have Part 22. The most that you're gonna drive is like 20 minutes, so like it's kind of it's like a very very competitive market where everyone takes everything, and everyone has platinum, everyone has gold. Like it's literally like a fight against whoever has the highest stats. I want to say like 80% of the people I talk to that says I asked them like, hey, you guys have platinum. I want to say 80% of the people I asked have platinum. Like I have not seen anyone who has silver or not the platinum. Like it's always platinum. It's like it's always competitive.
So let me ask you, what's your confidence level on a scale of 1 to 10 with DoorDash right now, as far as being able to go out and make earnings, make profit? How confident are you? 1 being you don't feel confident at all, 10 meaning very confident. On a scale of 1 to 10, confidence with DoorDash right now?
I want to say 8. And I only say that because, like I said, recently, I want to say this happened last month, like the end of last month, where they took away Dash Now anytime. So if you think about it, DoorDash has said, look, we have way too many Dashers in our zone. We're going to take away Dash Now anytime.
Interesting.
And that's exactly what they did. They took away Dash Now anytime. And now as a platinum and gold and silver, you have to schedule yourself 6 days in advance.
Yeah.
So ever since they made that change, I want to say my income has dramatically improved with the new changes. Not everyone's up for the change, but I personally feel like it's helped. Because there's less competition, there's no orders to go around. So I want to say with that update, I feel like it's helped a lot.
Well, I'm glad to hear, I like to hear when people are having success on that. Many aren't. So it's good to hear somebody that's working it, making it work for them. Abel, I appreciate you coming on tonight and sharing your experience, man. I'm gonna get to the next guest, but thank you very much. Have a great rest of Saturday, and if you're out, drive safe, man.
All right, thanks, man. Have a good one.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, we got a few more people waiting. I want to say hi to the chat real quick. The show's not over yet. We're going to go for a little bit tonight, guys. But once again, these are the topics. And you never know when I have these topics. You never know who's going to come up and if it's going to get a little spicy or somebody's going to be like, no, we have that sometimes, but not often. But these were all my thoughts of the hot topics that are happening with DoorDash and overall in the gig economy right now. These are the hot trending things. Okay. A lot of creators think DoorDash is dead. It's done. A lot of drivers, viewers. I do not. DoorDash is not dead. I think individual markets, individual little zones might be not pumping out as much income earnings or earnings opportunities. That doesn't mean DoorDash is dead. It just doesn't. A lot of people that didn't adapt these are like, listen, let me keep it, let me get it, let's do R-rated for a second. Okay. So you guys ready? If you got kids in the room, earmuffs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. This is Mr.BetonYou talking. Fuck your feelings. Okay. All right. All right. Fuck the feelings and deal in reality. DoorDash, along with many other apps, told you exactly what they were doing. So I find it hilarious at times, and bear with me, the people that are waiting, that we talk about these apps are not that. They told you and me exactly what they were doing. And if you were smart enough, you read the email, you saw the trends, you noticed things, you were cool with the what do you call it? The when you could reset your acceptance rate or this, or you took advantage of the shop and pay deliveries in the beginning. They told you exactly what they were doing. And I think a lot of other people that hate DoorDash or don't have a good experience, that's okay. I'm not taking that away from you. But what I'm telling you is I think you probably spent more time making money with other apps, which you should. We should all do that. That's a smart move. And you might just be late to the party of the program and what it could benefit you, what it may benefit for you. I believe that because I also believe, and I would put my reputation on the line by saying this. Every single app, there's not one exception. I believe you can't tell me one app that doesn't look at your numbers, look at your lifetime deliveries, look at your on time. Are you having customer sign? Are you taking pictures? How active are you on the app? What kind of ratings do you get from the merchant? Every single app has that information, and that is weighted to what your experience may be like in the gig economy. I believe that. And there's not one person that's whatever that's going to change my mind on that. I really believe it. And I think a lot of us look at the feelings part of this app is making me feel this way, Pedro. I don't like that. I'm empathetic to that. I don't like it either sometimes. But when you put the feeling to the side and you turn off the news for a second and you deal just in your own reality, just deal in your own reality of what you're seeing. And that will be different for many of us. But if you just stay with that and take off the noise from the outside a little bit, and you look at the app and you read your email, you look at this, you ask some questions, I believe there's still opportunities out there for most of us. I do believe that. I do believe it. And I think it's, I think I'm also saying that coming from a place of experience, coming from somebody that had the feelings, the pride, the ego in the back seat and say, all right, let me just really look at this from a profitability standpoint, a time and energy standpoint, and really look at stuff and not just, and also realize the trends of the economy, the trends of the patterns of in my market of people ordering less or more, or what platform they're ordering on. Where is the money? Follow the money. I think too many of us are thinking that the money is what it was. I've talked about this, and it's not that anymore. The money has changed. It's in a different spot. It's in a whole nother spot, right? All right. Let me bring up the next guest. Hold on one second. Let me do a little maintenance here. Okay, the next guest. I'm not going to butcher her name again because I hate when people do that to me. So I give my apologies. Let's bring up the guest. I'll have her tell us a name. And I see the rest of you guys waiting, so I'll get you guys up in just a second, okay? All right. Hello, how are you tonight?
Good, and yourself? My name is Kayin.
To Kayin, thank you. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. To Kayin, what do you have on your mind? What topic would you like to talk about this evening?
I would like to talk about the topic of I do believe that the platinum dashers are making more money.
Okay, yes. Let me put that up for you. Let me put that up for you.
Okay.
Thank you for strategic. Let me read this comment. Previous video, you said thank me later, and I'm here to say it worked, and I'm thanking you, sir. Hey, I'm glad it worked for you. It won't work for everybody, but I'm glad it worked for you. Okay, so platinum dashers make more money. The floor is yours. Tell me how you feel about that.
Okay. So I recently left Wingstop to go back to dashing full time. So
Okay.
it's like I can have leeway of what I do throughout the day. I think we are in a way independent contractors. That way, when you're trying to take care of other things throughout the day, and you can um still dash, because like now they have updated the app to where they give you an estimated wait time. So it's kind of like, okay, I can go run and do this or run inside this store and pick something up and still come back, and then boom, I have an order.
Yeah.
I've been dashing for a little bit over a year. I started in March of last year. And I have been watching your videos. They have been very helpful. And like the things that you bring up, I see them happening. So once the APR thing had reset, I noticed the first change. And then once they have introduced the tier program, because right now I'm in the gold status. So my ratings right now, my customer ratings is 4.96. Acceptance is 99. Completion is 100. On
Ooh,
time.
99%. Okay, tell me, what was the one order you declined?
I didn't even decline the order. The app was like glitching, and I'm like, I had to reset, uninstall, try to come back and try to hurry up to accept the order, and I missed it.
99%. Ooh, that's crazy. Okay, that's impressive. Some would say, let me tell you this, because you're a little newer than me, right? Some would say,
I'm a rookie.
Yeah, no. Listen. I'm gonna keep it real with you because you're keeping it real with me. Some would say that's too high. I think if you were a little more selective, I'm not gonna speak for your marketplace. I'm not there. But I think if you were a little more selective, you'd probably make more money. I could be wrong, but that 99 is pretty damn high. That's real.
So I am in Cali.
So you got Prop 22. Okay. So it's different. Okay.
Yeah. So that was another thing. Like I wasn't for sure. Like, okay, like if the bill passed, do we still dash? If it doesn't, does it get taken away? What's gonna really go on with Prop 22? But I've noticed in the month of March, my orders have been slower. And all of them have been shop and pay. Like I dashed earlier today. I started around 10:30 and ended it at 3 because that's the time frame. Because it's like as a platinum dasher, I have yet to experience if you could actually dash now and you don't have to schedule.
Yeah.
So I'm still scheduling even at a gold status. Like it did give me offers that were pretty decent. Like my highest order today to do a shop and pay was $19.75. So all my orders was like $10 or $11 and some change today. But in between that time frame, I only got 6 orders. So it's just like I've noticed, like if this is my new norm to adapt, like it's gonna take a lot more hours to get or hit 100 deliveries to reach platinum. I feel like they're making it a little bit probably harder because normally I would take the crappy orders because they were close.
Well, and you're getting some guaranteed pay for your active time, right? But it sounds like they're not keeping you very active if you're only getting a limited amount of opportunities. So that's interesting. I think you're going to see in the next few months, even with summer, I think you're going to see some changes. 99% is high. That's high. That's real high.
Be selective, like, because normally, like I built my algorithm to like they know like I don't like to do the far orders for $13. Like I would decline an order that's $19 if I'm having to travel 2-3 zones.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so like it kind of knows that like I like to stay in my area. I don't like to go out my zone. So it's like once I complete an order, boom, another order is coming in. And lately that's how it's been. That like once I finish an order before I can get back to my honey spot, I have another order. So I'm driving to another store.
Yeah, I hear you. It's always interesting to talk to somebody from that has Prop 22. I know a few people personally. I know some other content creators that make content out there. And, I'll be honest, there were some things I didn't understand about it at first, but then I've learned like why people just kind of take everything or keep a high acceptance rate, whatever. And if I'm being honest, it makes a little more sense because you have some guaranteed backup pay. You're getting paid for wait time. You're getting paid for drive time. So I see that there's some benefits that people in Cali just have, and they work the apps differently than I would. So I've learned to kind of understand that more, and I always appreciate somebody's perspective from there. Shout out to my man Hannibal is hungry. Congrats to Hannibal on 60,000 subscribers on his channel. Everybody say what's up to Hannibal in the chat. Great dear friend of mine. Super, super, super cool dude. Hit the like button, y'all. Yeah, hit that like. But I appreciate your perspective in Cali. It's just so unique and different, and the way that you guys work the gig, the way that you have to, and in the way that you choose to, is so very unique. But I appreciate the perspective very much.
Yeah, I honestly have seen a difference because I used to do normally with holidays like Black Friday or like Mother's Day. I noticed I didn't see any like gigs for flowers to be delivered on Roadie.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Banking on like making a couple extra $100 with Roadie, and I didn't see that today. And then also point pickup, there's nothing anymore. I guess I don't know if they gave it more to the people who do Spark because Walmart and Sam's Club is together. I don't see the Sam's Club orders anymore on point pickup.
Interesting. I've heard of point pickup. I think some things I've never done it, but I think things have shifted with that opportunity as well in some places because of either. So are you saying point pickup was exclusively on Roadie, or was it also on Walmart Spark, or is it just a Roadie thing?
I think point pickup was a whole nother gig app, but it was to like pick up for Sam's Club orders.
Right. Okay. Was it also, and you guys help us in the chat, was it also for Walmart or is it just Sam's?
I never seen the Walmart, but it had came up like, more opportunities and this and that. It had came out last year, like right there before Black Friday. And I didn't see any orders. Because I know here in California, maybe, I'm not for sure, but once I had started last year, I have been waiting to get approved for Spark, and I'm still waiting.
Yeah. I would say, once again, remind us how long. I remember you said you left Wingstop, correct?
Right.
So how long have you been in the gig economy, doing the food delivery apps or last mile? How long have you been doing it? Remind us.
March of last year. I started March of last year.
Right. And continue doing your thing, adapting, try new apps. Talk to the merchants. You worked at Wingstop. Get information from them. Keep building a good relationship with them. But I appreciate your perspective from Cali, and thanks for joining us on tonight's show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hope to see you again. All right, we got listen, we're about to bring somebody up. It's been a little while since they've been on. This is an oldie but a goodie. Okay, everybody loves this man, or you love to hate him. It doesn't matter, and he's good with it either way. But it's always a pleasure to bring one of the most supportive, kind, thoughtful, crazy, all these words. What are they? Nouns, verbs? I don't even know. I'm not that smart. It's always fun to bring this guy up on the channel. Look at him and his beautiful flowing beard and hair. Bud Soda. What's up, bro?
Okay, you don't gotta flatter me.
It's been a while since you've been on the show. I'm a little excited. Okay, listen. What topic tonight do you want to discuss? And I'll put it up on the screen.
Almost all of them, but the main one being that we are independent contractors.
Okay, so let me put it up. Let me put it up. So give me your when you hear me say, Bud Soda, you are not an independent contractor in 2024. What do you feel?
So the apps treat you like you're an employee. They want you to be like an employee, taking 80%, 90% in some zones, and not even having access to Dash Now, as one of the previous guests says. It's basically treating us like gosh darn employees. But you willingly choose to do so. So the whole mantra of these channels, of this gig space, has always been manipulate the app, don't let them manipulate you. So I feel that people need to change and adapt in that form. So use these as a filler. Overall, order volume's down. Food delivery is dead in the water. Amazon's about to come in and encroach on the grocery space, and they literally deliver for $5. You know, with the $100 yearly subscription. They're going to put no tipping at first, but I think eventually they'll put tipping in because they did it with package delivery this last holiday season.
I heard about
for the independent contractor.
In your opinion, Bud Soda, how long before you think that impacts an Instacart or a DoorDash?
June it starts.
No way. No.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's going to impact? How long before it really impacts? Not everybody's just going to go to Amazon full and then we're going to shop and pay.
Thank you. How long? It's going to launch in every major market. It's not just going to be, the places of the whole food, but they're going to get every major grocery chain on board.
So will that
they're going
to the Amazon gig workers then?
Yeah. That's good. They're going to expand Amazon Fresh, and it's going to be more opportunities on Amazon Flex because you could do fresh deliveries. Right. There are a lot of people who just do the fresh deliveries, and they don't even like to do the package part. And there's going to be a lot more of that, and it's going to be like the .com orders are on Walmart, and you're just going to go deliver. It's like packages, but groceries. So a lot of people are going to end up doing that. It's going to be a lot more common.
Be like, what's that pay going to be like with no tip? How much do you think they're going to pay out as a company to the drivers?
Similar. They're trying to drive that wage down, but they're probably going to put huge incentives, and it's going to be like how Walmart Spark used to be when that first became a big thing when they turned it on during the pandemic, during the plan, whatever. I can't say it because I'm on vacation. And the whole thing with that is that it's going to be gold maybe for the first 3 months, 6 months, a year in some places. Then it's going to go back to what Amazon Flex currently is, and a lot of places it's oversaturated. There's people who do 3-hour blocks for $45. Why would you go beat the crap out of your car for $15 an hour when you can go sit in Taco Bell and make that? It's ridiculous that people would do that. Now, are we independent contractors? Do you have to take those things? No, you don't have to take those things. So I wait for the best opportunity that presents in front of me, and I'm Mr. Stack and Route, so I'm going to take advantage of whatever I can. If we're truly independent contractors, they can't say no to us as long as we don't overly delay the order. As long as we get everything done in an efficient time manner, or an efficient manner, the same day delivery, because that's what package delivery really is. They can't say no to us. If I have obviously hot or cold food, obviously that's time sensitive.
But we know these apps can track us. They do track us. We know that if we're late, we could get a contract violation. You might be kicked off. I know that it's not. I know that Deliver That, as an example, doesn't want me to pick up a catering from Planet Sub and then have my DoorDash app on, pick up a DoorDash from Planet Sub, even if it's going in the right direction, even if it's going to the same customer. I know that Deliver
That's easy. That's EasyCater. That's EasyCater. It's more EasyCater than it is to Deliver That app. So, for example, UDM had that happen. Sometimes EasyCater will do the opposite. They'll ask you to take both of them.
Sure.
They literally have called me and asked me, hey, can you please still do that order? Because we know we aren't going to get a contract. I'm like, okay, the time says this, though, and it's conflicting, and it's in a different direction. And they're like, and I'm like, you're going to exempt me. So you have to negotiate. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're okay. That's them allowing you. That's them asking you to do it. So my point is, we're not independent contractors. We can't freely do that. We have to abide by the TOS, the agreement.
You hear him churning and burning?
I can't hear you. What do you say?
He said churning and burning. He's like, I've been busy. But anyway, go ahead.
It's just GigB. Good night. I appreciate you for coming in. Happy Mother's Day, GigB, Tatiana. I don't know. We're just not independent. I don't feel like that way anymore. I think that my experience in the gig economy is different than 99% of people's. So I feel a little more independent in some ways, but I think that the normalized DoorDash driver, Instacart, Uber, they're not an independent contractor. I really believe that we're not. I think we're something different. And I think politicians and companies are working or fighting together or against each other to figure out what that looks like. Because I do believe there are some people being taken advantage of. But also on the same side, it's like personal responsibility has to kick in, and we can't allow to be mistreated. We have to still be able to be profitable and make a living wage. But I think in the gig economy,
Okay, whoa. No. Okay, we don't put that language in because that makes us like employees. You have to make good business decisions and think like a business person. So our experience should be the common when it's not. Like, you are correct on that, that most people think of it like a W-2 job. Spark, for example, is very, like, she was in there earlier. They treat you like a Walmart associate. I worked there for 8 years. It felt just like working there. So they get mad at me because, your order's not going to be ready for 40 minutes? Bye. I'm going to go do something else and come back. Eventually, you get cool with someone, they get used to you, but like, they get very angry that you get up and leave. It's like, well, you can't hold me hostage. I'm independent. And people feel like they can't do those things, but you have to stand up for yourself. Does that mean you might be deactivated? Yes. But that's the risk you take doing these kind of things. You have to make the best business decision for yourself, have solid backups, and have solid plans. If anything, try to start personalizing it for yourself. I got to open a dumpling here, and I got to get the advertisement dollars up. So I get a radio campaign or an online campaign or a billboard, whatever, one of the three, or eventually all three, and get that going so I can say, well, screw Instacart and these other apps. Just let me do it. And you have someone who's consistent, and people love personalized service. One of the biggest flaws I see is people act like employees, but they also act like a robot. They don't reach out to someone. You don't want to be overly chatty, but if you just say something as simple as, on my way, ETA 5 minutes, but the app was telling them 8, oh my God, I'm getting my food sooner. Cool. Because these apps don't usually tell you the right kind of times, or if the traffic's heavy and it's going to be a little later, they appreciate the honesty and they like being thanked, and you get good ratings out of that and all that. You get post tips a lot. If you just do these kind of things, that's being more independent, more like a business person versus being an employee. A lot of people just don't have the right mentality for this kind of work, and we need to change that and educate people on that. The fact that we're propagating that people are like employees, bullcrap. The fact that we're propagating that there isn't issues in a lot of sanctuary cities. Sorry. But like, if we don't like be aware of the problems we have, and the current independent contractor laws are not held up, and they try to make us more like employees, then the gig's up.
Yeah. We
can't do what we do. You can't do what you do. You either have to choose to work and be more rigid structure versus, I value my family time over that. And the consensus of our culture is heading toward, we want to be more flexible. Mm-hmm. But what the government and the corporations are trying to do, they're trying to pull us back the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. So I feel that it's more important than ever to fight for independent contractorship.
I hear you, and I think it's harder for some because of the landscape of certain things, because of the desperation some drivers have, because times are tough and people are just, wanting to get on the app or wanting to chase this or they feel desperate. They feel the saturation. So they're taking orders that maybe they didn't want to shouldn't have taken, but it's tough, man. I want to pinpoint on something. And you and I have talked about it privately a few times. Other people talk about it, but I think what some people miss, and not everybody can do this. So you have to know yourself. You have to know what you're willing to do. But making money off the books, as I call it, okay? And I'm not giving anybody do it the right way, but making money off the books can really be a game changer, whether it's through, dumpling and getting your own clients or whatever, or, I did a couple this week off the books. They were nice, easy. I'm saving the customer money because they don't have to order through DoorDash. They order directly through the company. I just have their number. I facilitate it through them. I pick it up. They're saving money on the food. And then they tip me whatever we work out, and they're still saving money. But I think making money on your own when you can and having conversations with merchants or clients or whatever, I think for some that could be really beneficial. Now, the opportunity might not be as plentiful, but if you do a few a week, your earning potential for the time you're spending is going to go up. It just is.
That's roughly about 5% of what I do. So it's not necessarily off the books, but you're creating a private client for yourself. You don't have to report technically, legally, taxation speaking until it's about I think it's $400 to $600.
Hold on.
So consult your.
Hold up. Disclaimer: Bud Soda and I are not tax professionals. We are just having opinions. We don't know what we're talking about. Go ahead.
I was about to say that. Get a CPA, get your accountant, get you a good one in your corner.
Yeah.
If you get one that doesn't want to talk and explain things to you, find someone else. Mine is wonderful. She will answer any questions. She usually does so free when she doesn't have to do that for free.
Yeah.
And you get someone like that in your corner, look at the reviews, look what other people are saying online about them. And, if you just put a Facebook question out there, you could literally put it on your Facebook, your Twitter, X, whatever they call it now, and you ask a consensus group of your local area, they're going to point you in the right direction. So definitely do that. Don't be caught with your pants down and getting audited because you're using TurboTax and you're doing all this side work for yourself, and now you're in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I was going to say is the migrant issue. I'm going to move on from this topic. The migrant issue is a problem in some areas, even mine. I have drivers reporting that they're seeing them. I'm not seeing them very common in this area, but I have worked other regions, like Utica, Rome area, and it's very common there. Now, are all legal or not is questionable, but
let me ask you a
like
question.
someone was saying earlier, let me finish the point. Work with your restaurants to make sure the right person, if it's Joe who's supposed to show up and a Jane shows up, or vice versa, make sure the right, if your merchants are working to get rid of those people, it's not even the migrant problem. There's just people who they got the 3 phones in their hand and they got 3 DoorDash apps running.
Yeah.
So it gets rid of the dishonest people, and that problem can take care of itself that way. But go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I hear you. But this is what I think, okay? I think it's easier for some of us to blame. I think a lot of us need a group of people to blame. So that's why my stance is migrants are not the issue. I stand by that. A lot of people won't like that I say it. They're going to feel some type of way. I will stand alone in saying that. And I feel very strong in saying that. And this is why. I think we can't take a few cities and extrapolate that towards the whole country. We can't. And I understand and I'm empathetic to somebody's experience in a New York, a Colorado, a Indiana, Illinois. Like, I get it. I'm not there, so I can't feel what they feel. But I see people like following people into restaurants, questioning them and assuming things. And like, to me, that is disgusting, despicable behavior. I can't imagine living in a world where I'm going to assume something out of somebody based on how they look. I think that's a really old way of thinking, an old way of moving. And I think that we wouldn't do that to somebody. We didn't do that 2 years ago to people that are outside of an Instacart, and they have bots. And Americans do the same shit these migrants are doing, Bud Soda. They have multiple phones.
That's what I just said.
They have bots, So I think a lot of people are just frustrated because of the earning potential and a lot of the other issues that the country's dealing with. So we're blaming people that really didn't start the issue at all. It's the companies and the government. So for me, when I say migrants aren't the issue, I stand by that 1,000%. And I think, this is my opinion, Bud Soda. Okay, this is just me talking, and everybody can feel what they feel. I think it's way easier to blame a group of individuals when we aren't having success. I believe that. That's just what I believe. And I understand it's an issue for some, but I don't think it's an issue for most. In most markets, I don't think migrants are an issue. I think it's.
I am not solely blaming that.
Yeah.
Now, there's a bunch of sanctuary cities, don't get me wrong, and there's a big problem in those places. They're putting them in by the busload, and people are renting out accounts. Now, the prices have doubled and tripled. That's fact. But these other people are also stacking multiple accounts, and that's also a problem. And a lot of people just newly got on board. I know Uber here is pretty dead until it's late. Like, I got a $20 order right now at McDonald's because there's just nobody on right now. There's like me and one other guy who's one of my drivers. But he, you got to take self-accountability. But there's a bunch of factors that go into these problems, and we need to get to the root cause of it and stop that issue. We need to have streamlined processes. We are 25 years at least overdue for some massive reforms. And it usually takes a couple decades for massive reforms to come through. And it probably should have been done during the last administration that these other major reforms got through, because healthcare was, whether you like or hate it, I don't like it, I admit it, but that got addressed majorly. There's still problems, don't get me wrong, but this is a massive issue that needs to be fixed. And our monetary system also needs to be fixed. And if we stop setting up the lure, I think it would fix a lot of our problems automatically. We stop setting the incentive for people to come here and do things the wrong way, get people to come here and do things the right way. Do we need workers? Yeah. Does someone have to do some of these, no tip that gets boosted or not? Yeah. But there's right and wrong things to do, and right ways to do things. It's not just immigration itself. There's a whole systematic problem underneath. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. And you just blame the problem, blah, blah, blah. So if people took self-accountability and actually forced and held our politicians accountable, which most don't, I think it would solve a lot of problems. Am I being realistic that our politicians are ever going to be held accountable? They can be somewhat, but even when the quote red wave happened, over 80% of incumbents got reelected. And that's considered massive change if just over 10% turnover. That is bad. We need to do something different about that. Maybe make it a third at least. So, hey, if you do something really stupid, you're going to be held accountable. And I think that would go a long way to solve the problems. People need to educate themselves. And as far as being a platinum tier or whatever, moving on from that subject, I just want to hurry up so others can speak. I am platinum. You have to figure out if that works for you and how to manipulate programs. I wasn't able to get diamond tier, for example, on Uber, and I'm still working back toward it. And I changed my strategy a little bit to, okay, what's decent paying that no one wants, but the dollar per mile doesn't make sense unless you have something else with it. And I figured that out again. I'm like, oh, wait, I'll just go back to doing that like I used to do with Grubhub. And, you know, that's not common that there now. And it's common on Uber. So I'm like, boom, I can work my way around these people just hogging all the orders or all the short runs. So you got to figure out something different. If the time over money, I think, is more important, because that's where you're really profitable. And then miles, highway miles, are your friend, because not only are you doing not much wear and tear in your car, I'm going 40 for 5 miles right now. What's that wear and tear? What's that for fuel consumption? Next to nothing.
$40?
40 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
That's all I can go up through here. That's the speed limit.
Yeah.
On the military days.
Oh, 40.
So
yeah, I got.
Okay. Yeah. So right. I'm not doing much wear and tear. I'm not stop and start, and I'm not consuming much fuel. And these are places that other people don't want to go to. So that's how I adapt and work around it. And a lot of people just need to look a little differently at things. Now, if you're in a congested area like New York City, well, I shouldn't use that guaranteed wage. Well, yes. Let's use Denver. It can be hard to get around some of those places. So it may not work for you in certain places in the greater Denver metro area. So you got to figure out something different and maybe move where you normally work. Go travel half hour over to something you can adapt your strategies a little easier and not have to be reliant on these little short runs.
Yeah. But Soda, I appreciate you coming on, brother. Hey, I know you got a delivery. Drive safe. I appreciate your perspective tonight. And it's good to see your face, man. Have a good one, brother.
Okay. Good night.
The man, the myth, the legend. I see 2 people waiting, but they're not cammed up. If I don't know who you are, you have to show your face. Let me stay with the chat for a second. Good conversations tonight. You know, we're not arguing. We're not really, you know, we're sharing what we see, what we experience. You know, some people are sharing their numbers, and that's, I think that's great, because numbers don't lie. The one thing that doesn't lie is numbers. Numbers don't have feelings. They don't have emotions. It's black and white. Your miles to money, your gas cost, your car depreciation, your taxes, your offer, all that stuff will paint you the picture of success or failure in a gig economy. And many people, probably not most of you guys, but ones that aren't watching, or you're new or whatever, don't really know what their true profitability is. They haven't figured out how much are they making after they put $20 in the gas tank. If you put $20 in the gas tank tomorrow, you should know what number you should make with that within a couple bucks, because you can kind of control that by what you accept and decline and what times you're working. That $20 in gas should make you set amount of money. And after you have that money, somebody's going to have to go here and go there. And then what are you left with? If you don't know that number in 2024, you're doing the gig economy wrong. I strongly believe in that. Because I think when you peel back the layers of the onion on the numbers, and the numbers tell the truth of what your marketplace is. So regardless of saturation, migrants, independent status, tier programs, the things we're talking about tonight, numbers don't lie. So whether you have 1% or 99%, like somebody had earlier, doesn't matter. What are you making? And if you're not making money and you haven't adapted, that's on you. That's the picture that is painted through your number, your lens, right? I know if I had to go out tomorrow and only do DoorDash, I wouldn't have as successful of a day if I also did Deliver Dad, if I did Instacart. I know that now because DoorDash has changed, but I know I can use DoorDash and know that when I'm active, I'm making $30 an hour. So if I do 30 minutes of active time, it's $15. If I'm active for the whole hour or 55 minutes or an hour and 10 in that range, I'm going to make $30 and I'm not going to drive that much. It's up to you as an individual, as a independent contractor or whatever we want to call ourselves, subcontractor, misclassified employee, to figure out where the money is and go get it. Stop, and I say this and I don't want to offend anybody, but like, I have to be myself, and we're all adults here and we all have that. If you're here, you have at least some form of respect for me and I have respect for you, even if we don't agree on things and our experience is different. and our goals are different, as they should be. We're individuals. You know, the time of expecting the gig apps or a politician or whoever to do any favors for us are done. They needed us during the pandemic, and at certain times they need you on a Friday night. They put a peak pay, but at the end of the day, the apps they know that they don't need us anymore because there's so many new people that come every single day for whatever reason. So many, part-time, full-time, illegal, not illegal. The apps know that, and they use that to their advantage. That's why they can do a tier program. That's why they can do certain things. That's why they can deactivate people. DoorDash doesn't need me for nothing. If I didn't do what did I make this week? I made $400 with DoorDash. If I didn't do DoorDash, that 400 would have been facilitated to another 1,000 drivers, and they each would have made a little bit more money. Not a big deal. And once you realize that, you can look at the gig economy and the apps a little bit different, and not feel like you're so reliant, and you can maneuver and do certain things, I think, in a better way. I will never come on this channel, and the day that I do will probably be the last day that I do this channel. I will never come on this channel and expect somebody to do something for me that I can't do for myself. I will never come up here and say, I back this politician, I do this. I will never come up here and say that I'm blaming DoorDash for not paying my rent. Never. I will never come on this channel and blame a technology company, software-based company, a gig app, any of them. I'll never blame a politician, a mayor, a governor, a president. I'm not going to blame Trump. I'm not going to blame Joe Biden. Earlier, people would say, FJB, F Joe Biden. I will never come on this channel and blame another man or woman for what I can't do. I will never do that. I've never done that yet. The most I can say I've done on this channel when it comes to that is I might call a customer a con because I didn't tip, and I stand by that. Mostly. Unless you're Roger. If you know, you know. Unless you're Roger, and I met him and talked to him. That's it. So, I don't know. I made 166 today between two apps. Hey, for some that's good. For others, guess what? A political consultant. I don't know, man. But so no, I'm rambling here, bro. I'm not talking about the conversation we had. I'm talking generally. What up, Gig Wars? How you doing? Red, Grotesque, Kevin, Ryan, let me Twisted Monkey, 5 bags of popcorn. I don't know who that is, but I love that channel name. Kevin's still in the house. Jada Driver, what's up? Sam, Tony, go Gig It. What's up, brother? Ryan, Hector, what's good, Pedro? Just came back from seeing Aventura. Oh, nice. How you doing, bro? Good to see you here, man. Island Time, good to see you. Been a minute. Big AI. Appreciate that. GigY still in the house representing St. Louis with me. What's up, brother? Twisted Monkey. All right, I just want to give some shout outs real quick. Yeah, I don't know. I want to say this. And I just saw some stuff on YouTube today that, oh my God, I don't know how to. Bit tipsy, Hector. Hey, bro, I'm right. Listen, bro, I'm not tipsy, but I haven't drank all that bottle. Okay, hold up, let me show you. I've had a couple. It's my second drink tonight. Little black cherry whiskey, feeling fine. But I saw stuff on YouTube today that I was disgusted by. I can't even put it to words. I'm not going to name names because I don't want. It's not about that. I talk off camera with people about certain things, but like I saw stuff today that just made me want to like literally not do YouTube anymore. It was just, I'm just tired of people. I'm just tired of people looking at a set of people and just treating them like shit. I'm just tired of it. I'm just really tired of it. I think we got to treat people as individuals. We should not assume. And we need to know history. I think there's a lot of people out here that are just mad and God, I don't know. I saw something today that I literally was just like, fuck YouTube. Like I didn't even want to. I had the live set up and I didn't even want to do this live because I'm like, this is what YouTube is now. Like we're following people in parking lots and following them into restaurants and being a fucking asshole. Like I was so disgusted today. I can't even tell you. And I'll deal with that offline. I'm sharing that just because I'm just sharing my feelings. I'm just absolutely disgusted. We got to do better, man. That's just as people, we have to do better. We just do. It's funny. We think about the movies that we watch. You guys ready? Let's offend some people. Think about the movies we watch. Usually the movies we watch. Think about some of the big blockbuster movies. Hunger Games, Star Wars. It's another big one. The Divergent movie series. A lot of times we root for, and the hero in the movie are the people that are fighting the resistance, right? They're fighting the resistance. They're freedom fighters. They're fighting the empire. They're fighting the powers that be. And it's almost like in this country, when you do that, it's like a negative. It's weird, right? So in the movies, which are fake, we stand for the resistors, the fighters, right? But then in real life, we don't. It's interesting. If you think about it, it's actually very interesting. But I'm not going to get into all that because this channel's not that. We're starving gig workers. We don't have time to watch movies. Sam. It's kind of funny, man. Yeah. But why are we starving, man? It's more the company's fault, not the fellow driver, right? It's the company's fault. I think a lot of us are just going to do the same thing and expect a different result. I will never do. I will always try to do something different, adapt. I'm a pretty prideful guy. I'm Puerto Rican. It's just part of it. It's part of the good and the bad. See this flag right there? We're prideful. We're loud. We share our opinion. We're just a little crazy. But I'm not prideful enough not to realize the reality of what's in front of me, and that you will have more success when you listen more and talk less. When you assume less and you actually have conversations, and your reality is based on fact versus feeling, you will have a more successful existence. This is what I believe. Dominicans. Kolaya's in the house. Yeah, anytime I'm going to have like Kolaya and Hannibal and Hector pop up, and like, it's always a good night, man. It's always a good night. So I don't know, man. I think we're in a weird spot. I really want us to be successful. But I think for a lot of us, we have to come to the realization that it might not be through food delivery and on demand. There might be a different opportunity for you. It might be going back to a W-2. It might be starting for something for yourself. And let me say something. I'm gonna talk to Hector real quick. He might not remember this, but I'll go back on this live on. Hector, I'll join the show on Monday and I'll say it publicly. I've heard Hector say and other people say, I don't care about monetization on YouTube. I don't want to make money on YouTube. But then also we hear the same people say that they've had a bad week. I want people like Hector and other people to open up a little and look at other opportunities so you can better your situation. Because Hector, if and when you get monetized, that could be an extra day off a week for you. So just think about that. Just think about that, bro. I want all of us to be successful, and we all have different paths, but just think about it, man. Driven by Tyler, you have two options: either complain about everything or adapt and hustle. If you are hungry, you will make your money no matter what. I absolutely love this comment. I could not agree with you more. I think the opportunities are in front of us that are real hustlers, and I think that in some markets it will be easier than others. But let me tell you, boys and girls, life ain't easy, and it's not supposed to be. If your life is easy, you've either got great parents, you got a trust fund, or you're living on a beach and you're retired. For most of for 99.9% of all of us, life is hard. To be a good parent is hard. To make good money is hard. To save is hard. To buy a home is hard. To put food on the table is hard sometimes. But we got to adapt. We have to adapt. We have to stop blaming other people for our issues. We have to stop doing DoorDash in Denver or New York and acting like I should just be doing how I was 5 years ago. The world has changed. If you have not changed, that's on you. We can't be in LA Chicago, other markets, and saying, well, I used to do this and now I can't do this, and fuck the government and fuck inflation and Joe Biden's scum and these migrants suck. Listen, if you want to bitch and moan and complain all day, that's going to be your existence. That's going to be the energy that you're putting out there. We have to be willing to adapt. We have to know our truth. We have to know our real purpose so that you could actually go out there and implement what you're really supposed to become. Because if I watch another video of a grown man following what appears to be a migrant into a restaurant and harassing them, I'm going to fucking lose my goddamn mind. I'm going to lose my shit. If I see somebody else filming and walking up on cars and knocking on doors and filming people, it's absolutely it's despicable human behavior. We have got to do better. We have to. Like it's so bad. It's just so bad. All week I'm just gonna ramble and rant. It is what it is. This is my China. I can do that. This week I noticed a lot of Indian drivers in my marketplace. At McDonald's, a couple of guys knew me. One guy, Raising Cane's, might be watching. True story. Raising Cane's this week. God, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. Raising Cane's on Vandeventer. GigWise knows where I'm at. I'm doing like one of my last orders of the day. It's been a good day. I'm like, oh, let me just add. It was like $7 going 5 miles, but it was going towards my house. I'm like, I'm taking that all day. Got to go there anyway. It's 3 o'clock. I'm done for the day. Guy's in there, Indian guy. I didn't, maybe I've seen him before. I don't. He walks up to me as I'm walking out. He's had an order too. He goes, hey man, I watch your channel. Huh? He goes, you're a lot skinnier in person. You look bigger on the TV. I said, hey, thanks, man. And he was a cool guy, And I've seen several other Indian gentlemen. For me to assume that they're a migrant or illegal would be really the definition of ignorant. So I just can't, man. I'm over people blaming a set of individuals. I just am. We need to blame individuals on a surface level of our experience individually with them. So if you see somebody not doing something great, or they're being stupid, if they're being rude, if they're, but like a lot of us go into it thinking that they're going to be that way based on something that they saw on the fucking news or the one interaction they had with somebody, right? And I'm starting to see more content creators filming these people out in the wild. And I'm like so fucking goddamn fucking sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And I need to say that publicly. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I've unsubscribed from channels. I'm going to watch less people that want to blame other individuals. Because some of these same people are like, I'm this, I'm that, and I don't want the government. But then like we're trying to like assume all this shit of individuals. And it makes me want to throw up in my mouth. How we're treating other human beings. That's my stance. I'll be on a hill by myself. I could care less what you guys think about it. That's how I feel about it. I just do. I think on one hand, we can't say we're American and we're independent and we're free, land of the free, home of the brave, blah, 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 open marketplace, free market. But then like we're looking at somebody else and like telling them that they can't eat. I think it's weak. I'm in a point in my life where if I made $50 less this week, but somebody else made $50 more, man, I'm good. It makes me happy. I can sleep at night. I just can, because I'm not relying upon an app to pay my bills 100%. We have to understand that this kind of work is entry level. And a lot of us have been doing it for a long time and we're mad that our earnings are low. I get it. But I would say you're similar to a McDonald's employee that's got a job at McDonald's at 16 and you're 25 and you're working the same job, making about the same, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. And you're mad that they just hired 3 new high school kids. How can you be mad at a 16-year-old as a 25-year-old that's been doing it for 9 years? How? Base your judgments on people's actions. Yeah. If I see one more person whip a phone out and film another individual with a temp tag. Do you know how many goddamn Americans in St. Louis have temp tags on their car that are black, white, brown? Do you know how many I see in St. Louis that have that? And they're Americans and they have a temp tag for various reasons. It's disgusting behavior. And I'm absolutely like, I'm ready to like go to war over this shit. That's how disgusted I am at some people on YouTube. And they might say they're disgusted with me. That's their right. But when I see people filming people and follow them in the restaurant, it makes me want to like turn off my YouTube channel and not do this shit. I feel better that I got it out of my brain. And I'm sure you guys are talking about other things in the chat, but it's good. It's good to get the feeling out so I don't hold it inside. I do that a lot. But it's this world and country is so weird. It's upside down. You guys know the Hunger Games movies, right? With Jennifer Lawrence, shots of Jennifer Lawrence, great actress. The Hunger Games, you got the poor people, they're getting bombed, they're getting this, they're getting that, and you got these Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is what the Met Gala. If I want you to Google Met Gala, METGALA, it's basically we're living the Hunger Games out in real life right now. It's crazy, man. The world is a upside down place, and all we do is food delivery, man. And we make it way more complicated than it is to be. So, yeah. But if you Google Hunger Games, it's almost like it's happening in real life to us right now. And we keep kicking the little guy. We keep kicking the little guy. We keep kicking the little guy. And most of us are little guys here on this that do this work, guys. I'm a little guy. I am a little guy. And we keep getting kicked, but then we're also, when we get kicked, we don't like it. So then we kick down. I want you to think about that. This is what I want to leave you guys with tonight. A lot of us feel like, and we are being kicked at by the government, by foreign forces, by whatever, by other drivers, by merchants, by corporations. DoorDash is kicking us. So we're the little guy, all of us. The 251 of you guys we're all the little guy. There might be a handful of you guys that are like multimillionaires and highly successful. Probably not though, okay? I'm a little guy, you're a little guy. And we're getting kicked on by somebody bigger than us. And then what do we do? What do we do? As a little guy, we kick the guy that's below us. I want to have you think about that tonight. You don't have to agree with me. You don't even have to respect me. I don't require those things. But I do require for you to hear me if you're going to watch. We and you are being kicked on by the government, by DoorDash, by Walmart Spark, by your local mayor, by maybe even a fellow driver, maybe by your merchant because they're not putting out the food and they don't give you whatever and blah, blah, blah. The apps because you got deactivated. That's the big guy. Everybody that I just mentioned is above you. They're decision makers. They have businesses. That's how it is. Fact. And then we feel some type of way about it, as we should. Natural human instinct. You're making less money. You feel like your things aren't going your way. We need somebody to kick and blame. We are doing that to people right now. So we are feeling a certain type of way. And the only way we can make ourselves feel better is to kick the guy and gal that's below us. That doesn't make us any better than DoorDash, the politician, and the people that are bringing people to your city. It makes you no better. We're all just people trying to eat. We're trying to divide and conquer. Yep, they want us divided, and they're doing a really good job of dividing some of you guys. I will not be divided. You know, we have to understand it's really sad that we're living in 2024 with all these opportunities and we have grown men and women filming other human beings and assuming things. That is the saddest state. That is the Hunger Games. That is the Matrix. That is Total Recall. That is whatever movie you want to. It's us fighting somebody that is just like us. It's absolutely absurd behavior, and I will not stand for it. I won't support it. I won't support anybody that does it or feels like that. So that's me publicly saying that I saw some disgusting behavior today, and it just makes me like want to throw up in my mouth. So we're being kicked, and then we're just going to kick the person down below us. No. I might have a conversation with the person that's lateral to me that didn't tip me and call them out in the video or something, but like I ain't kicking down another human being trying to eat. And if you're doing that, please unsubscribe to my channel. I don't believe in it. I won't stand by it. So that's how I feel about it. Disgusting behavior I saw today. Deplorable. What up, Frugal? How you doing? The original, yeah. I mean, we're Arnold Schwarzenegger, not the one with Colin Farrell, right? I mean, we got to do better as a people, man. We got to do better we have to do better. You know, the thing they want to divide us, and the things that we're so. Let me tell y'all something. Let me leave y'all with this. I want people to do things the right way. I want people to have, but I can't sit here and hide like Americans don't have two phones too. I know several people that dash on somebody else's account. You know, like we're only looking at I get heated thinking about it. I get angry almost to the point where I'm like ready to knock somebody out about it. We have to do better. We can't call ourselves America and do this and land of the free, home of the brave. Give me these, you know, and then like put like cachets on it and like, well, it's just, you know, we are the superpower. So we have to act. We have more of a responsibility than any other country in this world. We have more of a responsibility, and responsibility, there's a lot that comes with that, right? So it's just really sad to see my fellow gig drivers recording people and asking questions and filming people. It's disgusting, deplorable behavior. It's absolutely disgusting. And I would never feel so offended or feel like I need to do something. I should be able to outwork a migrant. Let me tell y'all something right now. If the migrants are coming to St. Louis next month, if I can't outwork them, shame on me. Shame on me. If somebody comes here, they don't speak English, they don't do this, they don't do that, and I can't figure out how to out-earn them, I don't deserve to make money in the gig economy. And if you think any other way, you're a weak individual. And that's how I feel about it. How I feel about it. We got to do better, man. We can't be kicked on and then just look at the person below us or adjacent to us and decide to kick them as well. We're just as bully as DoorDash and the politicians in the government. We can't, two wrongs don't make a right, man. Compassion goes a long way. What's Kim say? Kindness is free. Absolutely is. So when I see those Indians in my market, if I see a Mexican, an El Salvadorian, I try to have a conversation with them, and I'm not an asshole about it. We got to do better. So I know I lost some of y'all in saying that. I'll lose some people, but I will always speak my truth. I will always give my perspective. If I ask you guys that, you got to expect that I'm going to give you that as well. And things that I saw on YouTube today really made me not want to even do YouTube anymore. It just, yeah. I'm just kind of over it. So this is really the last time I'm going to talk about it. I've talked about it enough a few times. I've had Trader make a video. He had some great perspective on it. You know, yeah. This is going to be the last time, unless something crazy happens and I got to cover a news story. I've said my piece. I've stated what I got to do. I stay very grounded in my purpose and in my feeling, because I know history, and history is on my side. And I lay my pride and my ego to the side, and I don't assume. And I don't play prejudice against somebody I've never had a conversation with. And if you do that, that says more about you than it does them. Because I got phones too all day long. I got phones all day long. Disgusting. That's all I got for tonight. I want you guys to have a great night. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. In some markets, it's already midnight. The plan is to go live tomorrow. I will go live tomorrow. I had an interview I want to do with somebody, and we might still be able to do that. I haven't decided yet. Well, that hasn't been 100%, but we will be live tomorrow. I appreciate all the super chats, appreciate the channel members, appreciate the moderators. A few people we had to block tonight. I don't like blocking people, but there's some nastiness and I don't even want to see it or give them the time, so I just block. Appreciate you guys for helping moderate the channel. Appreciate you guys for the support, and appreciate you for allowing me to ramble and be me, because I will always do that. And I don't, my words might offend some, you might not agree, but I'm always going to keep it real with you guys. I will never hide how I feel about something. And I saw things today that made me want to absolutely just dismiss YouTube altogether. Despicable behavior. And I'll handle that off YouTube. I'll have a conversation with that individual and tell them how I feel. So you guys have a great night. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Find your peace and whatever that is. And if you're with somebody in the house right now, if you're with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your kids in the car, if you're with a family member and you're by them, I want you to do this one thing. That's all I ask at the end of my lives. Give them a hug. Tell them you love them. Whatever. A hug can change somebody's day. Appreciate you guys.